Ju.
No.
Ju.
No.
Shu.
No.
Shu.
Shue.
Shue.
Shue. Xiang.
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 Shue.
Xiang.
Shue Xiang.
薛翔
Shue
Xue
Xiang.
Xiang.
Shue Xiang.
Yeah.
Shue
Xue.
Xiang.
Xue.
Shue
No,
Xiang.
not Shue. Xue.
Shue.
I think Edson is correct.
Xue Xiang.
薛
Shue.
Shue.
Yeah, 薛
Xue.
Xue.
Oh,
Xiang.
we're on time.
Welcome to the Edson Breedy Experience.
Xiang.
All right. So, guys, welcome to episode 8 of the Edson Breedy Experience.
Welcome.
I'm here with Shue Shang
Hey!
and Joshua the Joker James
Wagwan.
for an awesome episode about mixed martial arts, about relationships, about conspiracy theories, but we'll be jumping into that later. We're going to be warming up those vocal cords for the episode to make sure everybody could hear us clearly with our karaoke challenge. We brought it back to this episode, right?
I'm so sorry, y'all.
You better relax and enjoy this, right? Because despite my rendition, this is one of my favorite songs from Drake. I'm still a Drake fan, even though all of you all turned on him, right? Luckily, me and Joshua both Drake fans. Actually, I found that
Putting
out.
it down
I thought
since day one.
he would have been a fan of that other guy.
J. Cole.
No, the next one.
Kendrick.
Who, yeah, that one. I told you.
I am also a fan of Kendrick, but it's not like if I am.
Can be
because
both.
I'm not going to throw away the good music that I've grown to love from one artist.
It's kind of like you're a real person who's not like just swayed by trends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like, I have a life and whatnot.
Yeah.
I could decide things.
But so we're going to be going into so we're going into one of my favorite songs. I think my YouTube playlist would have this as like one of my top ones, right? So we're going into it. Everybody's going to sing a line, and we're just going to go one person. All right. So getting started. I want the money and the cars and the clothes, the hoes. I suppose. I just want to be successful.
I just wanna be successful.
That's not supposed to be my line.
Sing it over, girl. Sing it over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No. I just wanna
Girl, keep your line.
I just wanna be successful.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Trey, I fucking feel ya. They be staring at the money like it's unfamiliar.
I get it, I live it. To me, there's nothing realer. Just enough to solve your problems. Too much to kill you.
And when I leave, I always come right back here. The young spitter that everybody is in rap fair.
A lot of y'all still sounding like last year.
The game need change, and I'm the motherfucking cashier.
Nickels for my thoughts. What? Dimes in my bed.
Yes, dimes in your bed, girl. Quarters of the cush shaped lines in my head.
Take my verses too serious, you'll hate me, cause I'm the one that paint a vivid picture, no HD.
Yeah. I want it all. That's why I strive for it. This me, you will never hear a reply for it.
Maybe you're right. Any award show or party, I get fly for it.
I know that it's coming, I just hope that I'm alive for it.
I want the money and the cars and the clothes, the hoes. I suppose. I just wanna be successful. I just wanna be successful. Yes.
All right.
Good job, Zhu Zhang.
No, try again.
Sure, Zhang.
There you go.
Sure, Zhang.
Let's do
We
a
already
countdown
spent
for many
30
times.
minutes
They don't
practicing.
know that. They don't know that I was practicing for 30 minutes. This is prep for them.
I kind of also feel
Sure.
Okay,
you like
Yeah.
points.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
You can just call me Ashley.
No, we are not conceding to that.
We're
I'm
gonna
going to
butcher
learn
it
it
all night long.
this year. This year, I'm going to learn how to.
I'm so sorry, this young, that this is the torture that you have to go through. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I realize everyone got an introduction except the voice behind the camera.
We're here with the lovely Kemba Joe.
Thank you. After they hurled insults at me about my height all evening.
Will they not hurl
So,
any
I mean, this is what.
insults?
No,
Oh
this is
my
important.
God.
Right.
Were they insults? I mean,
It was just
insults are only how you.
Observation. Observation.
Okay, but it hurt.
Great things come in.
Small packages.
No, is it coming a guy who's also height start from 5 and laughing at a girl the height start from 5 as well? You know, he's not 6 yet.
I am 6
I'm not gonna say anything about Edson because I guess he probably 6.
Instagram, I'm 6 foot. What do you mean?
Right.
You're not. You know, you never 6
Do you
foot.
have filter and proper shoes?
I
No.
would just like to say that I identify as transvertical.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
5 something.
I'm 5'1".
yeah.
No, I mean in your trans vertical
Okay.
lifestyle. In the new lifestyle, not in the old lifestyle.
5'7".
5'7".
Yeah, 5'7".
That would be a sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 6-inch heels all day long.
If you
How do pavements look from your perspective? Like
You know what? I'm not answering that question. Joshua the Joker. J. Yeah?
she
the
broke,
Joker.
she broke,
No, just the Joshua the
she
Joker.
broke a nail on a pavement the other day.
What?
like
And you didn't show me a nail that broke?
Kind of
Yeah, when she was walking on her finger grazed the pavement. Isn't that what you told me today?
Never tell
you
you
didn't just
anything in life again.
again. It broke on the pavement. All right,
Nice.
so we're here with the newly confirmed couple. They became engaged, but 2 weeks. Wait, no, that was like 3 weeks ago. A month?
Yeah.
How long? How much time? A month ago.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Month and 2 days.
Congratulations. That's wonderful
Yes.
stuff.
It's 28 today or 29 today?
20.
28.
today's 20, no, today's the 28th.
Today's 28.
Yeah, today's 28th. Yeah.
A month and 3 days.
A month and 3 days. You can't forget that figure.
Listen, I'm locked in.
You have to remember.
Locked
No, put
in,
it in
yeah.
your phone. Put
I'm
it in your
locked
phone.
in.
Because every now and again, she'll just look at you and be like, how many days?
Oh, I've already went through this, you know? Yeah.
Because at the beginning he could not remember my birthday and he could not remember what day we started date and
She
whatever.
couldn't remember. There was
And he could not remember the first time we talked.
So when was it? When was it? When was it?
when she slid into my DMs.
Hey!
No. There is a story behind it.
Please.
That she slid into my DMs.
No,
She
but he was not.
interested in-
He was not the first
She was
person.
in a fella looking all fly
No,
and
no,
thing.
that's
She was
not
like, "Hey,
on IG?
let me come up with any excuse to talk to this guy."
Okay.
Huh?
So I was looking for Rap's ticket, like VIP ticket, right? And
I wasn't selling
I
tickets.
messaged one of the organizer and that person just not replying. And yeah, he replied my message. So
I mean,
You thought it was the other Joshua. You thought you messaged the first Joshua and then you messaged this Joshua. But
no, for Raps, that year was like you have to choose a committee member, and that person name is Dylan. I don't know who's Dylan, so I was just trying to ask everybody, do you know who's Dylan?
Okay.
And so I can tell Dylan one ticket.
okay. So then he said he didn't have tickets, and then what happened after that?
And he asked for my number and stuff. So
wow.
for
right
real, yeah, he asked
To
for my
give you
number.
to get you the tickets.
No, I don't need him to give me the ticket because it's online digital ticket. And I asked him, he only have the general ticket, and I want VIP ticket. So
So he saw a picture, he saw a DP, and he was like, you know what? Maybe I should.
oh, before that, he's already liking my pictures and stuff.
Before you
Yeah. Before I messaged, he already followed me, and I was a private account, so he literally have to send a request to follow me. And he was in my story and trying to like my pictures, and I did not know who he is, and the name is strange. So every time I see a notification on Instagram, I was like, "Who's this guy?" And I just go in, I was like, "Oh, right, that boxing guy."
It worked. It worked.
You understand?
She engaged. No. She engaged. Locked in. How long that plan take you?
In life, the amount of times that you succeed comes down to the amount of times that you apply yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
How long you have to
It's
apply yourself
about
for?
perseverance.
A year. How long y'all together now? A year. A year and 3 months.
A year.
Going to be a year
year.
next Monday.
A year. Okay.
Wow.
A year next Monday.
How's that?
But congrats, guys! Like I love
She
seeing you
didn't
guys.
see the vision. I saw it. I was like,
Maybe she did see the vision.
I didn't.
Oh God!
Because his pictures.
you know?
All his pictures look so scary on his page because he was doing boxing and his face was like, rah, and I could not tell which one is his face. And he has some collaborations with Macaulay, so I could not tell difference which is Macaulay, which is Joshua, and I was confused. I was like, who is he? Until I saw his interviews and finally he sit and he has a normal face. So I was able to tell the difference, He's not
That's important feedback.
Yeah.
You know, interview.
People are going through your social media and they might know who you are.
Do you even know which interview she's talking about?
I don't know.
It's the
Rob Stray.
Rab Street interview where it is sitting on the couch and things.
And pretending to be cool and stuff.
So hold on. I think that there was a lot to unpack there. First of all,
Joshua's very cool. Okay.
First of all, who is he? Who is this Joshua Joker James? I got some really cool information. There's more context to me knowing Joshua. So remember I told you I went to get my deep tissue massage this week.
Okay.
And of course, no. Bunks in the place. Gate is open. Like, can I enter here? Person's like, yeah. I'm like, wait. Joshua, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, you do coaching and stuff with Edson, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm a friend of Edson's. Anyway, I came for massage, upstairs. And then I was like, wait, there's a gym. The gym is HitFit. I'm trying to get back into, my whole holistic space of health. And I was like, you know what? He's like, what? Are you looking for a trainer? I'm like, I think I might be looking for a trainer. So I actually exchanged contact info. Well, I didn't exchange it. I took Joshua's info before I headed up for my massage.
This week?
This week, South.
Interesting.
Yes.
The universe.
Right. And so here we are sitting in a nice little fireside chat on the Edson Breedy experience. But who is this Joshua James? Personal trainer, DM slider, story liker.
DM replier.
Sorry, DM replier.
Thank
Tell
you.
us a little
Thank you
bit.
for pointing that out.
I apologize. Tell us a little bit more about who you are, Joshua the Joker James, Rab's ticket holder for general section only.
At the point in time.
Right, I'm
At the
very
point in
curious about all of these different sides of you. Where to begin?
I'm the guy that left school with one pass. Went back, got all my passes. I'm the guy that
Same school I did privately.
huh?
Same school.
Privately on
Okay.
my own. I'm the guy that
School you went.
I went to St. Anthony's actually. So I went to St. Anthony's, left school one pass, went on and I was like, I need to organize myself because I'm basically on my own. So I have to make sure that I am educated enough, or at least I could show people that I'm educated enough to hold on any position or whatever. So went back, get my passes and whatnot. And did a slurry of different jobs. I think there's hardly any jobs that I haven't done, other than being a politician and a deep sea diver. Yeah.
Pull the mic close there.
Okay.
So other than that, I've done pretty much everything. But it was finding myself in a situation where somebody that I was married to at the point in time, because yes, I am married and divorced, and trying to get myself back into the married game again. Yeah, son. She was like, hey, you're getting fat, So I was like, hey, let me go get myself back into shape by doing jiu-jitsu. From there, I was excelling very quickly because I don't know, when it comes to martial arts and all this kind of thing, I learn really, really, really quickly. And it comes like naturally to me, I guess. So hence I was able to really advance quickly in the game. And from there, it's just been advancing myself as a personal trainer because I started training people to do it as a side job. And when the divorce and everything started happening, I just basically threw myself into sports and martial arts and personal training and whatnot, coaching. And it's brought me out of a lot of dark times. Because I was able to meet a lot of people that were able to get me or shed light on my life or bring positive things to my life. Shout out to Joash. He was a very instrumental person in that whole situation. I remember spending Christmas and
positive.
yeah. So, and it's just been advancing from since then, where I first started off fighting in RABs in terms of striking and whatnot.
As your first?
Yeah, first competition that I've ever fought in terms of striking and anything else was in RABs. So shout out RABs. And from there it was rough and tough. I was supposed to fight in CUF. I never got the opportunity to because there was always some other fight that I was doing. Went on to do Pan American games, championships, for
MMA?
For MMA. Got bronze in on my first time. Was also a boxing national champ for 2023 within my weight category. I was also also went out and fight for two world championships back to back, which was Sambo World Championships and MMA World Championships. Didn't medal for any of those two, but the experience I would definitely carry it with me. But other than that, it's just been climbing, beating people, getting beaten. I mean,
Literally.
yeah. It's just been a trial and error situation where I've been just testing my skills, pushing myself. Where within the first year, I think I was able to do at least about 10 fights.
Yeah, the volume you've been doing is very good, admirable.
Yeah, and this year is no different. I've been taking on fights where I think my last fight in RABs was RABs 5, which was kind of controversial. Not kind of, that was definitely controversial. But regardless of the result, there was also the qualifiers for Pan American Games, which was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm also qualified for Pan American Games, so you could watch out for your boy coming up in.
When is that going to be?
That's
August.
in August, end of August, early September. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. Going out there to represent my country yet again. Very proud to do that. Very proud to represent my country. I didn't think I would been able to represent the speck of dust that we are on the map, but going out there and gonna fly them colors and them high, for sure.
That is an amazing timeline and just a whole lot of,
Yeah,
I guess, what you've gotten into. So I heard jiu-jitsu, striking, sambo. I was like, samba? No, that's different kind of something. What are your goals? So now that you're in this space, what goals do you have? What do you want to achieve as an athlete in this space?
to be able to say that I did it, so that anybody that is coming by me to learn or to basically better themselves or advance their skills in any particular martial art, I would be able to let them know, okay, these are some of the things that you could look out for. These are some of the difficulties that you will find. These are some of the things that you could definitely know to yourself that you're going to meet. When you get in the ring, this is some of the things that you would feel. Because, again, it's going to be hard to take advice from somebody that never did it.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you to tell me what I'm supposed to do at any given time if you yourself have not traveled the road?
Right.
So in that sense, if I'm teaching somebody, I could definitely be able to say, yeah, I've done it.
Mm-hmm. I guess it just enhances the entire experience,
Yes,
and then
does.
it builds a level of trust because don't put your foot here because I put my foot there.
And it burned.
Correct. Or that was the place that, my opponent was able to find that vulnerability.
Yep.
So then I guess it does enhance how you coach, but tell us what is something or what are the things that you like to see in your athletes, and I'll make some notes, or the people that you train. What?
Some of the things that I would like to see.
Yeah, what are the things that you like to see? So what makes the ideal, I'll say, athlete or person that you train and coach?
The ideal athlete or person that I'd like to train is somebody that is teachable.
Right.
Willing to listen.
Willing to listen and willing to empty their cup. because a lot of people come into the sport or into the martial arts, and they're like, hey, I learned this from YouTube, I learned this from watching kick up on those,
Or from an ex-coach. And they
or
don't
from
want
an
to
ex-coach,
break,
and they,
break the tradition of whatever they're doing.
and that's fine. All right, I could just give you pointers and whatever, and you could continue on your journey. Right, that's fine. But if you really want me to be your coach and guide you and whatnot, you have to give me the ability to mold you and direct you in a direction that I think, or I would believe, would be to your benefit.
I like that. I like that a lot. So is it that
I might be in too interviewee.
Both of them going down.
The interview.
Very
time.
Both of us,
I'm sorry.
Both of all going down the
Well,
interview
you see,
business.
the thing is, right?
Intriguing. This is very intriguing. No, I mean,
Let me jump in on two fronts. So first, he gave an awesome athletic resume, but what needs to be said that's very important is not only has he been competing at a high volume, as he explained, is that he's a dad, and to balance being a dad and competing
Yeah, it's a lot.
is a lot. And also coaching. He's coaching a lot of classes. So, I mean, when we look at a lot of top athletes who are doing boxing, kickboxing, foreign, in other countries, a lot of times they work and find themselves in that position where they could just focus on training to be able to balance coaching and competing with such a high volume is very taxing, and it definitely needs to be noted that you're doing both of them. And I hope, because I predict one day you'll be competing in a place you want to be, ONE FC, UFC, one of those major promotions. I hope you get an opportunity to just purely get to just focus on it and make it happen. Because I think once you get to strip those other things away, I would really love to see what you do athletically. And even if you can't do it forever, you won't be able to do it for like years, years on end. But if you get like a focus, like a 1 year where you just get to train, I think that'd be really amazing. I'd like to see what happens.
Could I also point out the fact that I've never done any martial arts in my life before the age of 26, 27?
I think that's very important to understate.
Yeah.
Because for the grannies like me that might be looking to try to kick something,
Listen, it comes down to how bad you want it after a while. Like once you get into it and you're able to experience it, and you make a decision like, is this something that I want to do?
You also have a lot of confidence. I feel like if you think you could do it, then you could do it. And a lot of adults don't think they could do it. Did you always know you were athletic? High school, you were like, I could run faster than these people, I could jump higher than these people.
I always had a certain level of athleticism because of being an active kid that I was. Whether it was playing in participating in sports like rugby, football, sprinting, and track and field, I should say. It was always something, but I was never a part of, except for rugby. I was never a part of any clubs or any kind of thing like that. I was more like running for your school, playing for your school kind of situation. But it never went anywhere. I tried to carry it forward with rugby, but rugby at the point in time where rugby was, I couldn't fixate on it because of the fact that there was no monetary value to it.
Gotcha. But despite what trophies you got, what tournaments you won, did you know at around 25 that, hey, I'm pretty athletic?
I guess. At least to a certain point. Because when I started doing all these different things, it was understanding that I had no kind of fitness for it. In terms of, I had natural ability maybe, but like when I really meet monsters like Joash, like Rampage, like you, shit. I mean, it was always like I have to adjust and realize to myself, okay, this has nothing to do with me. These guys have been trading for years. I have just entered. I have to give myself or allow myself enough time to catch up, or at least,
That's so important. So many adults can't bring themselves to do a new sport or martial art because they can't put themselves into a place where they can accept that other people might be like better than them at a thing, and they'll have to be at the bottom of like the curve for a little bit of time. Yeah, they need to come in knowing that they already kind of have some kind of skill or something like that. So it's really great that you're able to do that. Shui Shang.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Shui Shang. Shui Shang. Yeah. Did you play any sports?
I don't.
I
I don't play any sports, but I do like martial arts.
Yes. Well, I guess I still call martial arts a sport. So I mean, I think I know I saw you in a gi.
Yeah, I was doing jiu-jitsu.
Doing past tense, present tense. What we doing? We doing the jiu-jitsu. We still
We're
doing.
doing the jiu-jitsu, but
Okay,
not
okay.
not participant like every week.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Not as an adult, yeah. Okay.
because but I was doing kickboxing for a year though before we met.
Okay. Do you feel like you could kickbox?
I can kickbox, but I don't think I'm able to fight.
Why?
Huh?
Why I think so?
I don't know. I feel like
Pull the mic close. Pull the mic a little
I
closer.
find I'm not brave enough for that for now, because I find you do the sport is one thing to hit the pads, to hit the bags, and it's another thing you have to face it when somebody throw a punch to you, and you can't even run away, and you have to
Could
fight
run
back.
a little bit.
You can run a little bit, but you have to accept that there is a chance you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get licks.
Right.
And the first time I got licks and was not even hard from my old trainer, my
Right.
old coach, it was something that not feeling comfortable.
It was. Would you say it was too intense, the sparring session? Or
No, it's not intense. It's just a shock because for normal people like us, you don't get hit like that. People don't hit you. People don't punch you. You don't get licks normally. And it is a shock feeling. Like, it's not a feeling that normally people can accept. That's why you guys need to condition yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, because a couple of days ago, my son, who's 5 years old, Taekwondo yellow belt, and I thought I was ready, so he wanted to kick me, and I give him my leg, and he kicked me. I got a cramp, and I have to lie down.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
But
so
that-
that's how it feels like sometimes. So for me, I like the sports, but I don't like the
Like hitting pads. I actually love hitting pads too. I think it's one of my favorite things to do. It's so much fun. You could like de-stress so much just hitting the pads. You get really great cardio, and you could feel like you're doing things. You could feel like you're doing things.
And especially when your coach trying to hit you with the pads, and you have to, block yourself before you get a head.
Why
head
looking at me like that?
You'll get to train. You'll train together.
Sometimes, like whenever I have time, because our time not really working out. He's working all the time. Me too.
Do y'all get vexed with each other when y'all train together, or y'all be cool?
No.
No,
That funny enough, that never happened.
Because
Like, if-
that's be a fine line to walk. I
Yeah.
realize training with a significant other, you have to walk on eggshells in the beginning to make sure you're on the same page.
I think mainly because she's seen me coach, so she kind of understand what to expect kind of situation. But other than that, is like, I'm not a very forceful coach. I would cheer you on, or I would motivate you, but I'm not the person who'll be like, drop and give me some push-ups, thing, you didn't do it right, thing, and do it 100 more times. Nah, because then you could discourage people and thing, especially somebody that you are currently in a relationship with. They might not feel so inclined to train with you.
I find that often I find that the critique could just the fact that you are the person in control, like there's somebody in control and somebody not in control, and having to give that person like, well, you have to do this thing a little bit differently, could often end up with
Yeah. So you're trying to say
causing something, yeah.
well, but that is.
But that doesn't happen with you guys.
No, because we do know like which situation he's in control, what situation I probably in control, and that is when when we're trying, I know I have to listen to him. He's a coach. I have to accept he's not just my boyfriend, my husband. He's the coach, so I have to listen to him because obviously he's better than me
All right.
in that aspect.
I second that view. Mainly because I myself, I have my kid, he comes to train MMA and that kind of thing. And I don't at all
Yeah.
interfere with anything that he does. So I come and I drop him in the class and you go ahead and do your class.
Okay.
Because to me, like I've seen it for myself firsthand, like what that overbearing feeling of having your parent looking at you all the time, constantly correcting while it is your coach is trying to tell you something and the parents try to tell you something and you don't know who it is to listen to, or they're giving you a mean mug because you was having fun. While it is the coach was
Or not listening to
and
the
it's like,
coach.
oh, he wasn't listening to
Or
the
not
coach,
listening to the coach.
and you know, because you and your partner having a little bit too much fun and whatnot, but the coach is there and he would definitely reel everything back in to whatnot. So I tend to not jump in on that. Also in my own class, when it comes to like couples and thing training, I don't allow them to train together. I don't. Mainly because whenever it is they train together, what ends up happening is,
Battle.
oh, you hit me too hard, or you why it is you do anything so slow, or and it's like things that they would complain about at the point in time is things that they would not complain about if they were with somebody else.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, and I've seen it with every single couple that come into my classes.
That's why I'm so surprised. That you're not battling.
But
We
no.
don't do that though. We
Yeah.
go jujitsu class. We used to. We go to jujitsu together and we practice together.
I didn't used to train with she.
I used to. We did like a couple class in Island Parada.
It would always be separate.
The thing is,
Yes,
but
we did. We practiced the technique part. But
But
I can't row with him
Yes,
because
you could
it's
roll
not-
with him.
the thing
Well,
is,
yes,
though,
we just
She
gonna
just
shout
up-
out.
No, she wants.
Shashank
she
said
wants to beat me
something
up.
very important, and I know that Corey was having his moment, but she said that in this space, and I guess how it works, she understood that his role is to be a coach and that her role is to be a student, and that is a huge amount of vulnerability and trust, because you have to be able to relinquish that control. Be like, listen, I am the 15 minutes that we've chatted, you are a powerful woman. You know what you're about. You're very well educated. You've lived your life and you're a whole parent before joining in this space with Joshua. So to be able to say, all right, I will be the student in this space, that's very powerful. And then Joshua, for you to have to receive that, right? She's a bad bitch. If you're being real though, like,
Hence why,
no, big of you 2 times, right?
I put a ring on it.
I completely understand, right?
Where is it? It's tattooed.
no,
It's
no,
tattooed,
let-
guys. It's tattooed.
Tattoo. You understand what
Don't show people that finger.
Nothing to lose. But also, Josh, I think, being able to see that she could respect you, there's a level of respect to say, listen, this person is not just my partner, they're my coach. And I understand that differentiation. That's a very different place that I guess a lot of couples are not in.
Tough
So-
question.
I do feel a level of honor that comes along with it, because I get to do as I please. I'll be like, yes. Let
Man,
us
I
go a
get-
little bit much. Oh, God, I'm dying. We have to do more. Yeah, I was like, yep. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
You
that
already said.
at that point in
I
time.
was like, don't dig that hole in them, bro.
I'm not gonna say that it does not give me a sense of joy within my heart.
It gave
to be
me
like-
too much joy. He is playing his music, and I was dying. And we have like
That's
1 minute
right.
break, and he was dancing with his pass and laughing at me.
All right.
Terrible.
I have a tough question for you, Joshua.
Oh Lord.
Testosterone-filled Joshua. Right? Imagine this scenario. I want to know how you deal with this scenario.
Okay.
You training Shushan, right?
Hey,
And
gotta get.
you teach her 4 or 5 submissions. Boom.
Submission.
She learn it. She learn the submission and she drill it with Chinese precision, right?
Wow.
And she goes back to Island Parada, and she's like, and Chris George is like, hey, come here when I roll ting ting ting. She submit Chris once, boom.
Right.
And Chris is like, what's this going on here? Twice, 3 times. And then she started feeling herself. She started realizing, wait, now. She started feeling herself, realizing, wait, now I could kind of do this thing. So then she starts really dedicating herself to martial arts training.
Right.
She training by Joa. She started coming at 10 o'clock sessions. She training with Joa. Then you realize Joa started giving her like attention and thing. I was like, whoa. Who's this new person here? Right? So she's just learning skills. She's learning skills. And he's like, Joshua, just take a sit down here. I'll go and do some hard work with Zhujiang. Thing, pam. And they seen her like, she was really getting good. Next thing you know, Rabs, what, 6 is the next one?
Yeah.
Rab 6 come. They see some footage on Instagram.
And
then boom, she taking the fight.
You should talk more. You're gonna get a cramp here. Like, you're gonna get a cramp.
So now,
Is that a touch?
so now for this Rabs, you could make this Rabs because it was affecting a camp for international thing. You end up coaching her, boom. She wins, tang, medal. And now she really locks in. She's like, oh, she falls in love with it thanks to you.
Right.
She training hard. I learned parada, hit fit. Think she come and do it. She really dedicating herself to it now. She becomes a monster, an MMA monster.
Right.
Everybody just keeps coming up to me and is like,
I know
bro,
he's gonna come.
bro,
So he's painting a
bro,
proper thing, right?
How did
I know
you
he's
do
gonna
it?
come with it. Yeah. Go.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's amazing. I've never seen talent like this before. And you have to know you're keeping it cool. It's like,
Right.
not talent, bro. She's work hard, bomb. You're embracing it. The whole thing. Joshua one day comes and he's like, he having a meeting with the 10 o'clock class and he's like, guys, I just got this email, 1FC, and they want to offer Shushang a contract, a 3-fight contract, 1FC. And everybody just starts like, screaming, ting. She does a backflip. Right?
I mean, who doesn't do a backflip at that point in time?
Yeah.
We're like, shit.
Of this scenario.
And then she comes up to you and is like, Joshua, I need you to coach me. I need you to be like in my corner. You're the one that, inspired me to be here. Like, what happens next?
100%.
Wow. No hesitation.
100%.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
I'm
that's your
surprised by
whole
that.
woman, though. Like, and it wouldn't make you feel a type of way in the process, knowing that you've started and you've had to work. I won't say so hard, but you've really journeyed in this space, and that's your goal, to do it all. And she comes along and it just kicking ass, literally and figuratively, left, right, and center. No issue for
People
you.
just messaging, people like, hey, Shujan, let's do private sessions. She's do training or what? People just messaging you and trying to get
issue.
contact.
No issue for you.
So I would say it like I would give you an example of where that particular thing is happening at currently. I have a student that I inherited.
Okay.
All right.
It's not Shushang.
Yeah, that's his son,
All right. And his name is Liam
Yeah.
Chinchoy.
adopted son.
Liam, when I first met him, was everything adolescent teen would be. Headstrong, confident thing. I think when I got his trust was, I think, one particular Saturday, nobody came for the sparring. It was just me and him. And I told him, okay, well, we're going to do sparring together. All right. Now, he's bigger than me. He is two something.
Two something, yeah. So he's like 210, right? So
210.
he probably has like 60.
Yeah, at that point in time, I was
50
smaller.
pounds on you.
I was smaller. I was about 160 to 165. I wasn't that big at that point in time. And he was like, yeah, let me spar. For the first 4 to 5 rounds, he was banging. That boy hit me with everything. And I just
It's good too.
yeah, I just jab, thing, move around, whatever. And on the 6th round, he was like, hey, I'm getting really, really, really tired. Are we going to finish anytime soon? I was like, nah. We went a full 12 rounds.
Wow.
And every round, he would be like, oh, God, coach, let we done now. I was like, nah, we go into the deep.
Wow.
Go into the deep.
Right.
You see, where you think you had the power and whatnot, this is where I have the power. This is
The
where
endurance.
I could show you why it is I'm the person that they put in charge.
Papa.
And then From there, it went from, okay, he understood. And then it was a feeling of respect. Okay, I understand now. Then it went on to where I advised him for his fights and whatnot. I would train him for his fights, and he would go through the grueling training. He'd be like, oh my God, coach, oh my God, why did we have to go through all of this?
Liam asked you that? I can't picture that.
You can't picture it now because he's gotten accustomed, he's gotten conditioned to it.
Yeah, right.
Now it do affect him as much, but he still feels it, you know, like he'd be like, you come and give me some real cocky talk, like, coach, that is all I had for session today, because he's seen like where he was to where he is now. Now, where this guy goes in the ring, and the first round does not end. You understand what I mean by that now?
Okay.
You don't. Okay. The fight starts. They go into the middle. They meet with the ref and they touch gloves and whatever and they separate. The fight does not pass that first round.
Oh,
Yeah.
because just
He puts people to sleep.
Right.
My nickname for him is Liam. No cardio necessary. Enjoy. Doesn't need any cardio.
His last fight lasted 16 seconds.
is that the guy from that one at that thing down at Soundforge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And he's young.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy who at the beach he had a tough time on the pole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's Liam. Right? And I've seen him. I've seen him gotten better. I've seen him, you know, start to reach a level. And if I was the type to be like real hating and jealous about certain things, then I would not push him as much.
Right.
I would not
Because
be in
then-
the corner as much as I
Because
would
then
like.
he'll be better than you and you'd have a complex. So bringing that back into the beautifully painted scenario, if this lovely lady, Shushan, were to be,
I will be 100% behind her.
got it. And then you get to stay home and be a house husband.
I don't mind. I don't mind. Have you seen
Hold on,
anime?
hold on. What were you gonna say, Shushan?
I see that situation, like, from my understanding to him, like, him is maybe one of the most straightforward and genuine person that I've
Yeah.
ever met. Like, no, Joshua. Like, he, to anybody, like, he would not hide anything. He would just like, here, this is my heart.
No.
Here you go.
Yeah.
It's not just to me, right? To friends as well. But that is his friendly heart. Like here you go. He'll be like 100% to anybody. Like, he don't hide anything. Or he sometimes he would rather kind of sacrifice himself to make other people success. For example, the last boxing nationals, because he has whoever he's coaching in his weight class, he'll be like, you know, if we meet up and whatever. So he didn't even go. But he wanted to go because we had that conversation home. He wanted to go, but he was struggling, like, you know, my student fighting in this weight class as well. And it's a tournament. So eventually they got meet up, right? And he's like, I already the national champion and I'm not really looking to go Olympics. So just let them do the tournament and let them go as far as possible.
Which tournament is this?
This
Boxing
was not
Nationals.
Boxing Nationals. That was in January.
But you wouldn't have been a different
You know how many students we had?
Yeah.
No, oh, you mean you didn't want to compete while you
Yeah, he has a
coaching?
coach. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it,
Because
Not,
there's
not
a
just competing while I'm coaching, but also
It's a tournament.
potentially anybody that would be in my weight category.
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
they're gonna be his
I thought you would have been in the
Elite,
yeah.
I've only fought once.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able
So
to.
yeah, I remember thinking the same thing. So I mean, I really do want to do boxing nationals. I was like, I want to wait till Liam ends up in elite. So now they wouldn't have a heavyweight, so I could take the heavyweight spot.
Yeah. And that is when he really need to prove himself because he need more as much fight as possible. But he just gave up. And we had that conversation in the car and it was long, like really, really long. And he made that decision. He's like, nah, I'm just going as a coach. I'm not going as a fighter anymore. So I believe it's not just me, it's anybody, any of his students. He don't hide his skills. Like if he learns something, in his camp today, he just want to teach you tomorrow. He would just want to teach you everything. He don't hide from anybody. It doesn't matter if that person is his with class or not. He just will teach you once you willing to learn from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I guess this next thought that I have is just, so building on your coaching, building on your, I'll say student learning base, what advice do you have for upcoming athletes as they manage, I guess, finances and life as well as training?
Your life comes first.
Okay. Why?
The same thing that they will tell you on a airplane. Think about yourself first and then help anybody else. It's the same thing I would say for an athlete, because you might think to yourself, I would be the best in the world. You most likely would definitely be, yeah. But if you don't have the circumstances to facilitate those things, then putting yourself and your household in jeopardy just so that you could attempt to achieve those dreams could really cause you a level of hurt on the inside. For instance, when you don't make that first rent,
Right.
or you the mortgage is on the line, or kid don't have school shoes, because this thing don't pay. Like fighting and whatnot, it does not pay. It don't pay.
In Trinidad.
Once you're amateur, you don't get paid.
Amateur.
And
Amateur.
Okay.
Even
you are
UFC,
not-
you're
not promised. You're not promised.
Complain they don't get paid.
You're not
Wow,
promised.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
The amount of money that they make winning still leaves them often in debt after paying for food,
Right.
coaching.
Yeah.
Injuries.
Logic, right? Physio, anything.
Especially injuries,
Right.
because those things it takes a big chunk of your money. Now, people would say, well, all of those things would take money. You know what takes money? Daily life.
Yeah.
It takes the majority of your money, because when it is you thinking, well, all right, I'll go and fight in this thing here. I'll make about 3,000 US. Great. That is finished by the end of the month. It's done.
And what next?
What next?
Yeah. What next?
Now you have to look for a next fight. But to get that next fight is a promotion.
Right.
And that means that you would have to be employed by several promotions for you to be able to get fights like that, right? Because even in UFC, I don't think there's a fighter that will be fighting every single Saturday or every single fight card.
Okay.
It's impossible.
Right, because what's your recovery time? Listen, I have big respect for those of you that willingly go into a space and you could leave that space with half your face all out here.
Hence why we try to make sure that the defense is good. So I don't think
Right?
I don't think anybody in Trinidad has ever seen my face get hung up by anybody,
Praise the Lord.
whether
it
it's
is
internationally
such-
or locally.
Yeah, so I
does
mean,
matter.
I'm saying face because that's usually what you see, especially the women, the female UFC fighters and MMAs. That's
Yeah, boy,
so
some-
rough, man. Everything is mashed up. So even if that's not the case, or you might take a kick to the ribs or something, you have to be able to give yourself time to recover.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not sustainable. It's not realistic to expect that you could fight every week at the same level or at the same competency and efficiency, right?
won't be, for sure.
It won't be. And so if that's how you have to make the money, then is it worth it? Because then you'd lose your fights. That'll make sense to That'll making sense.
Oh boy. I am reluctant to say, but
So to bring it back to where you said that what advice do I
Yes.
have for
Yeah. How do you balance if there's a balance? You said life first.
how I am balancing right now? I use the skills that I train in terms of in training and whatnot. I use those same skills to pass on to other people in coaching.
Okay.
So now everything that I'm doing is I am the plug, the middleman, and also the consumer. So
Okay.
I'm taking part on all different levels of it. So I have that sweet spot of a place in terms of in my life where I'm able to coach and make money by training people and doing that, because that's my job. That's what I do full time. And then I could also train and, make my body better, make my skills better and whatnot. And then I could fight and compete and be able to actually put it into work and put it into practice and whatnot. So it goes from practice, doing it, and then showing people how to do it. So I have that lineup, which kind of happened by chance, because somebody told me that I was unfit and didn't look so good.
You know what? Big up that person.
Big up that person.
Wherever in hell they may be. Or we going. Okay. So, sorry, Edson, I feel like there was something you were going to ask or say.
Oh no, I was going to say that. I don't know. I feel like my personal philosophy might be different to yours in terms of someone who told me that he wanted to be the greatest athlete. I'm not sure how much I would try to guide them to balance regular day-to-day life versus their sport. But it depends on their age. It depends on what things that they have, what responsibilities that they currently have. But I think that in order for somebody to be the best at something, they need to be willing to throw everything at it, like really go at it like a missile 100%.
Facts.
And I feel like very few people in Trinidad, where we have a more conservative view on like education and what's important and pursuing a profession, a lot of people already have that pressure from other people outside of sport to be like, oh no, well, just do it on the side and continue going to university, etc.
That's true.
Whereas in other countries that have more sporting infrastructure, you could end up in a sport high school. From the time you're like 10 years old, you in a place where you're training 3 times a day and really getting to hone your skills on a sport. And people, yes, there'll be people who are saying, okay, no, you need to focus on the family business or whatever professional thing that they might think is important. But there might be a lot more people in that school, teachers, coaches who are like, I believe in you. And I think if you real focus, you could make it on this baseball team. You could make it in track and field. And I think in Trinidad, they have very few people who would really tell the person, hey, really go for it. Go for it this time. So I try to, especially if I see talent, I see work ethic. More so work ethic than talent, because they have real talented people in Trinidad, but not many people willing to like really put in the work. If I see somebody with both, they have talent and they have work ethic and they're young, I think I'd try to tell them to go for it with like 100% focus while they still could, and maybe give themselves a timeline, like really help them plan out, okay, I'm trying to aim for this event. If I do get this result by then, it's time to do the next thing or something like that, so that they could really pursue it with 100%, because it's very difficult to make it anywhere with 60%. Yeah, or 50%. When they have people I was just the other day I was watching this clip in China where they were recruiting powerlifters and they're going to primary schools. And they were like checking their musculature, checking their back, and they're just going to different schools and recruiting people. And then they're like, okay, great, these 3 people here, you all come in the Olympic Training Center and you're starting your training. You're going to represent the country, and so now when somebody from Trinidad go to compete against those people, this is somebody who kind of doing it. They compete. You might have a casual powerlifter who in university and training, if they're lucky 5 days a week, and you coming up against somebody who was selected when they were 7 years old with the perfect perfect anatomy, and they training. All they're doing is training, eating, sleeping.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. So that's why I say if you do have the talent, you do have the hard work, that hard working ethic, I'd try to be one of the few voices who would be like, hey, go, because they already have so many voices trying to soften them.
Yeah.
So that's why. But it is difficult because I'm encouraging them to roll the dice on something that really might work, but I don't know how. It depends on where they'll get their pleasure from. So I try to ask them, hey, if you were 90 years old and you never really tried.
The question.
Yeah, you're 90 years old, you're on your deathbed, you're sick, right? Which one would you be okay if you got the job at the accounting firm and you had stopped now and you do the smart thing?
Why?
Or
like that. What?
would you be happier if you had put your all into it for 4 years?
Yeah.
You was broke, living in your car for 4 years, and then after 4 years, you didn't get the accounting job. You end up working at like some other business that you thought was inferior. Which one would make you happier? And then based on their response, then it's be like, you really need to go and do the accounting course.
Right.
Oh,
This is not
you're not gonna be happy. You'll be sad. Or do you go to do the other thing?
Yeah.
I have a question. If you live in the car, right, and we're talking about martial arts and you're talking about giving 100%, so do you assume somebody is like behind the scene and supporting them? Because the kids you're talking about in China, they either funded by government if they're really good, or I know people who doing that currently, like in person, I know them, right? Their family just really rich. Like you can't even imagine how rich they are and how much money. Like one camp for 2 months, they can cost like probably $200,000, and they would just go for it, and all the expenses just coming along because you want to be trained by best coaches and nutritionists. Because we did a calculation, right? We did a calculation to provide for a athlete on nutrition, everything, creatine, protein, and of course you can't eat too much processed food, so you need fresh fruit, vegetable, and whatever. All those are expenses. So unless you really have somebody to support you, it's very hard to go 100%. It could be government, it could be your parents, it could be whoever willing to, because we calculate just the fruits we eat is probably gonna close to $2,000 sometimes.
So I'll answer you in a few different fronts. So first of all, I remember I had this conversation with Joshua in HitFit a year ago, and I was like, go for it, go, run and do it, right? First thing, the majority of champions of any sport that we've ever heard of just be broke. They are broken. Yes, there are people who just end up being rich and go to the fancy camp and have all the food and whatever, but they don't be Michael Jordan, they don't be Mike Tyson, they don't be Usain Bolt. There's a certain hunger, work ethic that comes from grinding it out and just putting in the time. So, yes, there are the people who get all that stuff, but you don't really hear too much of them becoming like D1, right? Like, I mean, even if you think about, so we think about Adesanya, right? Adesanya, sometimes people talk about how he like has a suburban lifestyle or whatever, and he didn't have too much financial issues. And then he still managed to become like real good. I mean, I'm a huge Adesanya fan. If you happen to ever watch this, I mean, I'm not trying to shit or anything. But then we talk about his arch nemesis, Alex Pereira, who didn't have no money. He coming from,
and he was literally working in a tire shop, watching the screen and seeing Adesanya talking about him on TV, and he was like, "Yo."
Training the fancy kickboxing club, and
they run it back, and they really and truly they reached out to him.
Right.
No, serious, they reached out to him.
Who's they? What you mean?
The organization reached out to Alex Pereira
based on the kickboxing stuff from before.
Based on the kickboxing stuff.
That is opportunity. Just came.
Alex Pereira he's not a bum, eh? Like
no, he's not a bum. No, I'm just what I'm talking about is his financial background before. That it was based on trauma and not having all the resources.
Yeah.
And if we think about most athletes, a lot of them don't have a lot. The ones who like really skyrocket. There was a time that I was talking to Coach Barrett from Fine Line, and when he had come, he actually started our boxing program at Edson Breedy Athletics. You know, he was the person that
Started it off?
Started it off like years ago, and we were talking about who are the athletes that.
Funny enough, I'm
That's
also a
good to make.
student, one of his students.
And he said that most of the times, the athletes who are really skilled and have the work ethic don't have the resources. So you have to be careful how we were talking about pricing programs and how we do outreach, whatever. And he's just like, chances are the people who could rail box have no money. They do not have the monthly fee. And as a coach, trying to be a director of a sports program, you have to be able to find a way to finance and help those people who have the drive, have the athletic ability to find a way to make it possible for them to do the sport while going through whatever financial burdens they have, right? So that's just one avenue of answering the question, right? You don't have to have the money to do it. It's great to make the plan and try to aim for it and do it, right? The second part of it is that if you do want to go for it, right? Well, the second part is the most fun I've ever had was going for it full on and being in the car. That was the best 4 years of my life. just training and all you're doing is eating, training, sleeping, and you don't know where the next meal you don't know where the meal coming from like tomorrow. You have enough money. I know I have enough money today to make it to training, buy lunch, and buy something after training. But it's okay because this is just like I'm living like Ryu. I have a bag on my back and I just walk in the train and I go and train with the baddest people.
Reference.
No, Street Fighter.
Okay, Street Fighter Ryu.
You know,
Okay.
Yeah. You know, you picture Ryu, he's be walking down the road and he's just have his duffel bag.
Do you know who Rio is?
I've really find you fast because it was Chun-Li I used to beat everybody else with.
Okay.
Carry on.
Quick save there.
This is your real experience?
Carry on.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did that. He did for a while.
Carry on.
You like full
When he was practicing for
Taekwondo?
Taekwondo.
Yeah, I went to Korea, went to Russia, went to Mexico.
Who paid their ticket to go Korea and Russia and Mexico?
Different people.
Different people.
Different people, yeah. So but I went on YouTube and I was like, how do these people get money?
Oh, okay.
How do these people get money? And then so I mean yeah, on YouTube. And how did I get connected with site? Well, so I mean I'm really good at delegating. I'm really good at delegating and getting support from people. I think it's one of my skills, right?
Yeah.
And part of it was
That's very important marketing skills.
it's
Very important.
thanks, Joshua.
Yeah, important.
But he said
sorry.
what is that face for, Joshua?
I plead the fifth.
Anyhow, so it's like so I mean I'm gonna try to answer this piece of your question, right? Which was that's when I started branding myself as Edson Breedy Taekwondo back then. Then so I took it in a stepwise fashion and this is how I was able to get money. So long story short, it was create a brand, Edson Breedy Taekwondo. Then I started having small events like by my house. And be like, hey, come to my house. I'm doing a fundraiser by my house. We're going to watch a movie. Thing, $20. Boom. People start coming and build a small community doing that. And then I would have, I started selling buttons with just like buttons you could clip on. And you could buy those for $25. And I'd walk around with them like on my backpack. So anytime I walk in, anywhere with that Ryu backpack, I'd be like, and anybody was like, hey, how the trading going? Ting. And I'd be like, yeah, boy, I'm going to this tournament. I'm raising funds. And you could help me right now by purchasing one of these buttons right here. You could buy this ting. And so I was doing small items.
The hustle is immaculate.
Right?
I have high respect for people who are able to do that. Like I love that. I love that way.
Yeah.
So
this is where the DJ will come in and be like, every day I'm hustling.
it was a real hustle.
Man, you DJ.
Imagine this guy with a backpack and all these set of buttons all over. You
You are in a
straps all on his
situation you're
I'm
able
sorry.
to raise fund for yourself.
I'm
I can
getting
see.
tired.
You're smart. You're one of the guys who has the athlete condition for your body, and you also have the brain to know how to get fund for yourself. Even you don't have to work, like have a full-time work, like.
And I had great friends like
Yes, like-
Ared, who did my logo.
Period.
So she did the Edson Breedy Taekwondo logo. Ken Sambury, who I went to high school with, he did a lot of video for me, like promotional videos for like events and stuff that I had.
Shout out.
Right. And Alicia Shim, she helped form this group called Let's Go to Rio, and we had a lot of my friends came together to help like plan events. We had parties, boat rides, we had a dinner at Meet Me at Fanatic. It was like a 6-plate dinner, Brazil themed. We did a lot of different things, and we kind of planned out a year-long schedule to like slowly build from small events to big events. And so it was a tough build. It was a tough build.
Was
I have
that
to talk to my
Personality and skill.
I have to have a proper conversation with my friends. Y'all are not doing enough. We need to have a meeting.
No,
and we need to,
that's not how the conversation goes.
that
That's how it's
Wait.
bounced up.
No.
What you have to do,
Right.
you have to. You know who does it the best?
We,
There's somebody even better than me. Andrew Lewis is the king. Andrew Lewis is the king of like building a support network. So in terms of right now, there's somebody you know. There's somebody you know that could answer any one of the problems you have individually. There's somebody who not just knows how to do it, they actually enjoy solving that specific problem.
really?
Yeah, there's somebody who
I have really, really, really dark
But let's talk about sports for now, right? But regarding like your specific issues that you have, any issue you have, there's somebody that you're directly connected with who has the answer to that. But one, you have to first define what that problem is, and then start really going through contacts and figuring out who really want to do this, So Andrew says he has he calls it his life team, I think he called it, and he has 113 contacts in his phone, like in a note. And I was
Don't
like,
even
this
know
person,
113
I'm sure you do. Trust me, you do, right? And he'd be like, this person's do marketing, this person is a DJ, this person is do bathrooms, this person is do, and he just curated them like that. So now anytime you have an issue, you can be like, life team, all right, boom, and
Right.
and you have that too. You just have made the
You
connection.
don't know that you don't know that that's what they do.
And I find that there's a lot of extra energy and time you
Isn't-
spend on it. That is dedication too. I don't find
Yeah.
everybody have it, because some people will be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I have this idea, but you also have a lot of work that out of training, like here to do, right? You don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work. Any marketing is
Fair
a lot
enough.
of work and plan.
It does take away.
Yeah, and it's also your personal skills and personalities. You can attract that energy. So for me, that work out for you, but not for everybody. I'm not saying
It
it's
d-
not working out for him, but I find that
You'll
it's
have a
not-
great team already. Boom.
that is not
Triple
like
team.
a solution.
Three people in the team already. So I can say first of all, it definitely can't work out for everybody, because what
Yeah.
we're trying to do is be at the peak of the mountain.
Right.
So not everybody could be at the peak, but I think one of the skills that could get you to the peak is definitely curating a supportive team that would help you do that. And that's one of the steps to help you get there. If you don't, then you're just fighting it by yourself. I'm not complaining.
Could I also put another look at that? How some people might look at it, especially athletes, where they might have been burnt before or by other means to discourage them from doing such a thing, mainly because of the reproach that people might get from so-called friends and other people that they might have put in these particular or they may have delegated to these particular positions, and then it's always the well, look what I've done for you kind of situation, or what can you really and truly do for me kind of situation.
Well, then I guess, I mean,
Sorry, you have a question. What's the question?
The question, well, no, was it a question? It
How
was
to
more-
deal with the reproach?
No, just kind of pointing it out from a different part of the spectrum where sometimes how it is athletes don't get to this point
right.
because of the mere fact that they might be more, okay, I don't want to have to depend on people because people would be reproaching me,
They don't want it enough.
or they
You have to-
might
You're trying to be the best.
right.
That this person trying to be the best.
Well, I mean, hold on. I get what you mean, and I guess Joshua more than anything else. And this is really hard. I'm talking to myself in this process.
Self.
It's just self, and you. You can't let that bother you too much. And when you do see it happens, right? Then you go to your life list, and you just backspace.
Who's the therapist?
You backspace, and you say, you know what, this person.
Backspace the person?
What if the person that you're trying to backspace?
Yes, backspace. If don't
that
backspace,
person?
they're not good for you in that way.
What if
Why would
the
they be
person that you need to get you to this particular place is somebody that has been very vindictive or
I'm sorry, backspace.
Somebody that
We have to define what vindictive means.
Well-
because some people just be like, they send me a text message saying, "Hey, I thought you would have really helped me out because I did this and this for you." And then in their minds, they've painted it as like, that person is vindictive. They send me a set of angry.
Right.
So we have to mean like, what is vindictive?
Lots
We have to
of
look
gray.
at it objectively.
There's lots of gray, and that's going to be the personal journey outside of your athleticism, outside
this is what I'm saying.
of all of that.
This is a lot of the things that would discourage
Yeah.
or halt or should I say strain the advancement in somebody's career in terms of fighting and whatnot, because as we all know, a lot of the sponsorship or monies that you would want or really and truly dream of getting from any organization usually comes with a certain level of nepotism.
Well,
Okay.
I guess you have to be. If I put myself in elite athleticism space, right? My personality type is I'm very skeptical as well. So if I'm worried that this could bite me in the end, then I'm going into this partnership. I have to be clear. So I hear you telling me, I'm going to do this for you. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. But that quiet voice at the back of my head is going to need to know.
What do I need to do for you?
And it may not be now. You may tell
What's
me.
the cost?
You may
What is the
may
cost?
tell me, no, Joshua, I'm doing this. Da, 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 da. And I will say, I get that, but go with me. Walk with me.
Yeah.
I've won the tournament now that you've sponsored so generously for me.
What do I need to do for you?
What might that return on the investment look like? What might? Because it may never come. I don't know.
Right.
It always comes.
So I want to get a chance to answer your question. So that problem, we have to make sure we don't make that an issue. You, first of all, if you're curating a list of people that are helping you, to help you do that, you have to think about what value you can offer them. Right? Often athletes don't get sponsorship because they ask for money. They're just like, company, TNTech, how much money I could give me? $15,000. You can give me that? Because I'm going away. I want to go to a competition, right? A huge part of getting sponsorship is a huge part of getting sponsorship is figuring out. I got this line from Sai Padmore, who was my manager when I was competing. He's like, you have to make a long, elaborate list of what value you can offer the company in terms of, am I going to go into the company? Am I going to make some posts on my Instagram that has this amount of followers, this amount of engagement, and this amount of reach, and I put the screenshot of your insights from your Instagram and your TikTok in the letter. Am I going to say, hey, once a month, I'm going to come in and train your staff or your staff's children and let them take pictures? Am I going to put together a camp? So Andrew Lewis did it the best I've ever seen, right? So he set up a camp with Republic Bank to teach the kids of the people in Republic Bank, like how to sail. And they, as far as I understand, how to sail. Andrew Lewis, sailor.
Andrew Lewis.
Olympic sailor. Yeah, so they pay for the camp. Republic Bank pay for the camp. He just teaching the kids how to sail, right? And so he would go and set up that camp, and they take photos and videos, and all the kids would be happy, the parents who work in Republic Bank happy, and now there's value that he gave them, and now they could help him pay for expenses that he has, right? So you have to make a long list of what you could offer, and then be like, hey guys, I can offer this thing,
Right.
and then make sure there's something that you're offering them, and then as you're making this deal with them, be like, okay, these are the things I've come up with, and you have like 20 things, and be like, is there something else that might be helpful to you because I'm asking for your help, and be okay with that because you are asking for the help. And I think I don't think it should be bad that they want something else for you. And then a big part is that if you're really reaching, right? So right now you are going to create a lot of interesting emotions in people around you because you are climbing, you are pursuing a goal, and nothing people really like seeing people pursue the goal is drive a lot of excitement and be like, wait, I wonder if you're gonna make it. So they get like really emotionally connected to you and helping. So when they helping, they could start to feel a love. Right? It doesn't have to be a romantic love, but they start feeling like really connected. And you locked in, and they like get this like, wait, oh gosh, I'm part of the journey with this person, right? And then now, when if you are successful or whatever, and you stop the journey, they still might have that connection to you. So then that's where the root of that feeling of reproach might come from. Not necessarily a negative place where they're just like bad people. It's just that you wasn't thinking about it because you was fighting and lifting weights and thing. But they was like, I really love Joshua and I want to see him go to 1FC, and I go and do everything to help him. And then if you're not prepared to finesse those emotions after the fact, when something because after, if you don't manage that after, it could end up being explosive where they like really connected to you and helping you, and then you just like, well, whatever, thanks for the help.
Oh, is that situation of unrequited love kind of situation?
Kind of, because they were helping you with all their heart, because they like fall in love with you.
Then I just kind of like, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Love you like a brother.
Perhaps it's a mindset shift where once upon a time, sponsorship, right, was that, hey, look, the money, go do your thing, thanks. Oh, by the way, remember 5 months ago,
when I lend you some money,
right, or I give you, because it wasn't a lend. That mindset shift, because everything Edson has said makes sense, and it's the psychology of people. And if you've not had the practice, much like myself, to really understand that element of it, then it will always be a hurdle. It'll always be a struggle.
I didn't get to answer your question. How to deal with the reproach, right? If someone comes and says, hey, I feel a how because I wanted X, Y, and Z to happen, and you're still pursuing your goal, you have to treat it like a tournament, like a fight, right? Which you didn't do so good in, and you have to figure out, how do I turn this into positive, helpful to this journey? So you have to have the conversation with them like, hey, I think there's a miscommunication. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you so much for the help that you've given me so far on this journey. What do you think you would have wanted me to do differently in terms of our relationship that would have caused you to not feel this way? Because I care about you, and you definitely care about me, and thank you so much for helping me out. And I want this to never happen between us again because I really value you, and I see that you're hurt because of this. Well, some things happen here that's caused you to be feeling hurt. Somebody who's helped you do something. And if you understand what caused the hurt, then you could implement it in your next 50 or 100 people who are also on the list, because they're people helping you. So they're expecting certain things that you mightn't perceive. So now you could get some more information about what's missing and then implement it, versus saying, oh, you have a problem? I don't want your input. Bye. And then you cut them off your list, and then one, you're not getting the help that they was helping with.
You hear that, Kimber?
And two,
Wow.
And two,
Honest tenants, I'm not no professional athlete, nowhere.
and two,
But all right.
we're going to make me forget two. was two boy, but yeah, you get it.
I
Yeah.
find the difference between that is, in conclusion, when you try to manage your relationship between sponsors or whoever willing to sponsor you, for me, it sounds like you're managing a public relationship. First, you do marketing and then you manage your public relationship. But some people who have been struggling with it, they're trying to manage as a private relationship, you know?
What do you mean?
It means you are my friend, so you should help me. And I'm dealing with like a friendship. So I feel like, okay, we're friends. It's unnecessary for me to have certain conversation with you. Some open up with financially or some result, like report to you, that kind of situation.
Okay.
But all those things are required because, again, this is a sponsorship we're talking about there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And then you have to, on top of that, you have to manage when you do well, because people really love helping on the journey. But then if it seems that you are too successful or you've reached the pinnacle point, right? And you enjoying it real plenty and you're having fun. So you know how it's going to your enjoyment zone? No, this is cool. I love your enjoyment zone. I love to see it. I love to see when you're like dancing and you like go really, you can really feel happiness and enjoy parties and you could really enjoy that moment. But at that moment, I could tell you're not thinking about too many other things going on. At that moment, you really get to feel this happiness. But they'll have people watching, right? At that point in time. And they'll be like, wait, boy, you went checking my boy after he win the fight or after he do the thing. And I really help him train and coach and look at him just there you even check. Because not everybody have the same personality. So you have to be careful of that too. And understand that the emotions change from the journey to the finish line as well, or the finish line of different checkpoints.
Interesting.
Well, he reached now.
That's a point because I
That's a
remember
very true
last
thing,
time when we trying to do Pan American fundraise, not for him alone, for the team, right? To have a total number.
Yeah.
And I do remember somebody was calling him is from I'm not sure it's a company, but somebody who's not familiar with him. The street question is, where do you live right now? What is your rent, right? And the living conditions. So that's how I was telling him after, this is the first fundraise, right? And for now, it looked like you're nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you're nobody right now. People expecting to see somebody very poor, right? And not functional, financially functional to go in those things. Okay, so I'm handing you this money as like a charity fund to you. So I was telling him, you came back with the bronze, right? And you win all those fights. And on your page, now you look successful. You're popular and people now call him the famous Joshua James. I was telling him it would be hard for you to do that kind of fundraise again.
Which type? What was the type of fundraiser?
It was like, I need money to buy gears to go out.
Corporate, so like corporate entity, they're corporate entities tend to have
disagree.
I
disagree with you.
Because people was asking how much is your rent? Like, are you poor? Basically,
A company did that?
I don't know. I forgot who's
A
that.
company or a person? That's not like a person.
I plead the fifth.
It was a person or company? It had to be named.
I plead the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth.
That sounds like a company.
FIF.
Because here's why I say it sounds strange. I feel like most companies don't really care.
Company don't care. Company love that.
Yeah.
Company love that.
Yeah,
It's
because
all
the more
this-
successful you are, the bigger your following is, the more visibility they get.
It's person.
Yeah.
It's persons
Right.
who will just I donate this $5, $5,000 or $500 for you because I feel like you're in low position. So that's why I was telling him, we're trying to get more sponsorship because what you can bring to other people. That is a real sponsorship. It's not just friends donation.
Right. Honest question though, on the whole corporate entity element of it, because sometimes I guess maybe my mind, there's a difference between applying for a grant versus just, hey, I am $10,000 shy of my goal. What can you do for me? Because that's why I'm like, certain companies there's a corporate entity that would say, hey, in order to get this, you have to check these boxes.
Right.
Not just a single person, right? I have $1 bajillion. I won the lotto last week. And so before and that coming from from a place of ego, I genuinely do believe that there are companies, certain entities of them, that require certain things. So is it more like a grant versus just a budgeted, set of funds available? What might be the difference between the two, just in your own experience?
I can answer that question because I used to work in that position.
Perfect.
Okay, so for a company, first, where the donation goes, the first thing they're gonna look at, this donation, is it related to any our current business scope in terms of marketing and everything. It don't have to be directly with our product, right? But it will help us to promote, like, where they can put our logo too, and their audience, whoever gonna watch it, is gonna help to promote us or to make us look better. That is goodwill, right? And if they can increase our values. So that is one. And personal donation is more out of like a good willing, like, I'm good with you, I have a good heart and wish you all the best, and this is what I can do. Like, okay, I have this extra $10,000, I'm willing to give you 8,000 to support you because this is your dream and I'm good with you, right? I see you as one of my friend, I want to help you. That is the difference. So the personal one will more happen like when people see you need help, and the first one will happen when people see your value. Yeah, that's a difference for me in that situation.
I think you're in the place where you could do both, because realistically, I'm sure your expenses will come up to more than $100,000 for the year. And once you put all that out in the letter, when you ask for $5,000, you'll be like, he really outlined all these expenses. He need it. It don't matter if you're living in a nice house and you have a car and running water. At the end of the day, you need $150,000 and you asking them for $5,000 for whatever expenses. So I think that was an important trick, in that a lot of people, when they have to go to when they do the letter, they just ask for the amount for that one thing, versus saying, okay, I'm asking for this, but actually doing all this for the end and coming up to all this money, that's why I'm asking you for this. So giving them that comparison point, I think, is helpful to be able to play the need card, even if you're successful. Yeah.
Learn any things. Yeah. I feel we need to take a pause.
Hint, hint.
Yes. Take a pause. I think we should take a pause and be back with more right after this.
We'll be right back.
After these important messages.
All right, so we'll be going into a group creativity exercise. All right, so we're going to play a game where each one of us is going to say a word, and we're going to make a story.
Okay.
Out of it. So whatever word you say, it just has to be linked to the word before and guide the story however we want. All right, so we're going to get cracking. We're going to do it twice. So Kimber's going to get us started.
I was going to do like an example, just so that, because Joshua's face is like, what in the what? Okay, so if I say white oak.
Was
rum.
For old people.
Exactly.
But one word.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Four.
You know what? Those 3 words became
Right.
fine. I feel like it fit. Does that
But
make sense? So I feel, can we adjust the rules a little bit? It doesn't have to be one word. It could be like a few words. No more than 3.
No more than 3.
No, yeah. Okay.
No,
sure. I think it'll just make us pause longer
You think?
to try to put together 3 words, but we could give it a shot if you
2
want.
words.
2 words.
No more than 2 words.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, if you put, anyway, I'm going into my language brain and I'm like, okay, if the preposition have to fit with the noun.
Well, let's give it
Anyway.
a go.
What they gonna do with the predicate? You know.
Hey, talk the things. Okay.
We have to follow the grammar.
No. I think interesting grammar will make for an interesting story.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yes, we have to follow the grammar.
Are
Then
ready?
you can't play this game. You don't follow the grammar.
Oh no.
I am Trinidadian. We
You don't
created
follow the
English.
grammar.
We created English. English come from here.
No, you create a
You
different
understand me?
language. which is not
English come from here.
All right, let's give it a round.
Okay.
Aliens.
I thought you were doing 2 words.
No, I'll do one. Aliens. Me.
Alive.
Food.
Come on, let's go. Break it up on.
Okay, same line or different line?
You decide how the story goes.
That I
Love to.
Ingest.
Separately.
but every day.
I partake.
Wholeheartedly.
Disgusting.
Before bedtime. That was funny.
When I dream.
Nightmares.
Don't happen.
Indigestion.
We need to lock into how many words we use in here.
I have, okay, no more than 2. So minimum 1, maximum 2.
Okay, I think I was the first to break the rules anyway.
No more thing. Okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. So I wasn't keeping track of it, but basically aliens are food that we enjoy and ingest wholeheartedly
Separately.
before bed.
Before bed.
Indigestion.
That gives you indigestion.
Right. And sometimes we get nightmares.
Nightmares.
waking up.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends.
Okay.
Yeah, if you eat the aliens too close to going to bed.
You know? You want to portion yourself properly throughout the day. Then eat your aliens early. So
Right.
you get off
Alien
it.
ingestion.
Yeah.
They're listening. Stop saying that.
Okay.
They're listening.
Imagine if aliens are listening to this podcast.
Oh, they're going to eat us?
Black, we're not gonna.
Do you know that's something I really worry about?
What, eating aliens?
Getting eaten by aliens.
So no, this is what I was thinking about. So, you know, we have these factories where we're like really inhumane to other animals who are like less intelligent than us, and like we just have them string up and we just like cutting off the skin, and they have machines just ripping them open and all kinds of stuff. I'd be like, if aliens watching this right now, they'll be like, oh, they're cool with this. They get it. These humans understand that, it's just, about how delicious the thing is. And humans delicious. So it's okay for us to put them in the little machine.
But hold on, is it that we are a less intelligent life form than they are?
Yes, most likely.
And that's why they will consider us to be, okay.
We could be food. Like,
Okay.
oh, them humans
That
taste
they
good.
ingest.
I consider myself a delicacy, okay?
Hey,
I don't. I taste very bad, and I don't want. I'm
I
not a
taste
delicacy. That
Understand? I be working on my muscles and shit.
it's just
Understand?
protein.
Nope.
Just pure
I
protein.
must taste
I'm
good.
junk food.
I'll be vomiting all over myself.
I
Nope.
taste
No, no.
good.
Just like to say that
Good.
I'm a snack.
Seasoning.
That's all I like to
Seasoning.
say.
Yeah, with sweat.
I'm a
Rubber.
snack. I'm a snack.
Hey.
If we had to be food, I'm a
Hey,
snack.
would a fisherman downgrade his fish? No.
What?
No.
No.
He would not bad talk his fish.
You said downgrade. That confused me.
Are you the fish?
No, he's the bone. He's the bone.
What?
You the
What?
You the fish?
No, he don't eat fish.
I'm the fisherman that's
How you
fucking
the-
up my fish.
No, the fisherman is the aliens who are looking for food to eat.
No,
and you out there, you're the fish in the water. Like I taste real good.
The,
Mr.
the aliens
Fisherman.
and them are the people that come in to buy from the fisherman.
What?
You are the fish.
And your
You're
body
the
is the
fish.
fish.
Listen, I am the person that is selling myself.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure he is a delicacy, and if you all ever, I will. Where's just he? So he teaches
also
classes.
have,
He teaches classes
other-
at 5 Abercrombie Street.
Other
St.
variants
Joseph.
that you can get.
You
know,
could track him
if you're looking
down.
for something
You could track him down 5 days a week.
A little
Edson Breedy
yeah.
Athletics.
Understand? So breastbone,
Eat healthy.
Santa breast.
No. I'll be vomiting all over myself. They aren't going to like these flavors at all.
You know,
At all.
sometimes you'd feel for a little breastbone to carry you back to the days where you used to, be in
You are the breastbone?
and whatnot. Yeah, no.
She's the bone.
breastbone. Oh God, give me the breastbone self now. They just fry it up
You ever
and
ask
with fries
you ever
and
ask for
things.
breastbone? You ever ask for breastbone?
No, they sell that.
I know. You ever like ask for it? You ever was by the shop and was like, hey, let me get a fried breastbone?
Yeah.
I've never done that. And about
We have that in China. It's a popular dish in China. Breast.
It's delicacy.
Yeah.
Tell me you come from privilege without telling me you come from privilege.
Listen.
You never eat no breastbone.
Well, that's-
That what you say?
I've never
Joshua.
asked for it.
You never
I've
asked for it.
I
Just
never
come and
went-
get the breastbone.
So we
No,
just-
from KFC.
That's because he's a
From
center
KFC.
breast.
Why is that funny? I don't understand. I like
I
your
don't
facial
understand.
expression. I
The
didn't get
center
it.
breast is the
Meatiest part.
It's meaty.
I guess.
There's no
Compared
bone.
to-
There's no bone.
compared to
That's
the
what I was asked for in KFC.
compared to the
Oh, we know.
breastbone. What flew over cuckoo's nest? Okay,
we are on the
Listen.
same lost page.
Shui Zhang is just what? I'm so sorry. Okay, second one. You said you're going to keep this short like me. Sorry.
I get to fall in line.
Why are you bringing?
Falling in line. Shortest fall back onto the line. Let's go.
You said you did the second one.
Okay, flat.
Earth.
2,
Morrow.
And
Discussions.
2 words, right?
Maximum.
In toilet.
While
taken.
Glorious shit.
Smells like.
delicacy.
Delicacy. That way you just say, oh my God. Disgusting.
It smells like a delicacy. However,
Truth be told.
The perfume.
It's invaluable.
because it
Sheds light.
And the Sprite.
And what?
Sprite.
Spread.
Spread.
Joy.
I thought.
and the spear.
And what?
And the spear.
And the spear.
Yeah. DESPAIR. Or
It spreads joy and despair.
and despair.
But truly.
Comes back.
To earth.
Which is
Flat.
That was really good. I don't even want to try to repeat the details of that
On the
terrible
floor.
story.
okay.
We did.
So
That was funny.
Zhang.
No, try again.
Shu
Share.
Shue Zhang.
Xiang.
Shue Zhang.
Xiang.
Shue Zhang.
Xiang.
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 Shue Zhang.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll give it a little shot. I'm really trying. I'm going to get it. Not so soon, but we'll get it. Right? So, do you think that the earth is flat or sphere
Or hollow.
and
Oh, what?
or hollow?
Or hollow.
What is hollow?
Empty.
Empty. Oh, the earth is flat or okay, or empty.
And if you do have if you do have a decision about it, like what evidence do you have about whichever one you think about?
I believe this world we're seeing is because what we think and what we see is because we're limited by our senses. So I do believe there are more dimensions than what we're experiencing right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's either flat or either empty or those things. I just feel like this
So you
is
get
just
it.
a dimension that we know about because we're limited by ourselves.
Earth is a dimension.
No, it's not a dimension, but for us, Earth is in this dimension, right? but it's not. I believe there are 11 dimensions. So that's
Very specific. Why 11?
that's a story for now. Like 11 dimensions with all this like space wars and there's aliens and folding the space, folding dimensions.
You know what?
Is this a theory that you have?
There's
or
a
you
Marvel
believe-
comic about this.
No. It's actually a theory in physics.
Okay.
It's a theory in physics that cannot be proved for now, but people can find some evidence that link to it, or they doing back calculations. So yeah, I do believe those things. I don't believe we are living in this world and just this world.
In episode 4, we had a physicist on that talked about it.
Okay.
Episode 5, Jasmine Medina. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't answer that question, but for now,
Earth. So let's bring it back down to the what we're walking on.
Ba-dum-ts.
Do you think it's round, a sphere, flat, or hollow?
people saying it's a ball, but yeah.
People saying that's a good answer. So which one do you, if you had a multiple choice test,
If I have a multiple choice in physics, like in
what's the subject? So there was just a question placed in front of you. You got an envelope sent to your house. It has, is the earth?
Oh, I'm not gonna open that envelope. Sorry.
Joshua's opened the envelope. I was like, hey, there's this question.
Yeah, because
What's your answer?
what I learned is very specific. Like what I learned in middle school, in high school, and in university. I can give you different answers probably. So that's why I take too long to answer that question. I don't know what I do.
Which one? So which one's your current 2024 response?
Okay, I can give you my high school student response. It's a ball and it have things in certain layers, and yeah.
And what about the after high school? Because the outer high
That
school
was my
longer?
answer. I think this word is 11 dimensions, and I'm not going to answer that Earth question.
Just why the hesitation, Joshua? Which one do you think? Because you added a third one, the hollow one. Okay. Could
Right.
be flat and hollow and spherical and hollow.
So you want an answer to that
How can it be
specific?
flat and hollow? What?
Because in the flat version, there's still like body below it, so it's like flat on top, but it's like a
Okay.
thing.
Carry on.
below. Yeah.
Hence us being a rock floating through space.
Okay. Got it. Like Segovia.
Yeah. So which one? Which one you on?
Yeah, we are what our
Hello.
advertisers have put towards us. Our earth is what our advertisers has put towards us.
Who are the advertisers?
The people that show us what we should think
Okay.
and how we should perceive.
Right.
Because I could say, yeah, the earth is round. And I could have a lot of evidence that would point in that direction. But I myself have not been around the world, nor have I been out of space to be able to take a step back enough to be able to see it. Because all those things that that you might see on the satellites and whatnot does not necessarily mean that it's correct. I've seen movies, and most movies are fake, but that shit be blowing my mind.
Right.
And I don't think they just stopped it at movies.
Okay.
Did you choose an answer?
I did not.
It's hard to answer. Like if you're really interested in those things and you heard different voice basically all the time about how times and this space working, it's very hard to answer. Okay, what you think of that cup? Because for me, I have to analysis in different ways, right? It's plastic, that is a chemistry way or physics way to analysis. But if you really ask me big questions about this space, about things we're not able to see, and people just have theory about it, it's hard to answer. It's like I'm asking you, what is time? Time and space, are they the same thing? They are.
That's a much hard. I find that's a much
Yeah.
harder question.
In high dimension, they are the same thing, right?
Technically, there are two Infinity Stones that would help us understand. And between Loki and Doctor Strange, we'd figure it out.
It kind of like that, but not really. It kind of like that is, but
Right?
not really. Yeah.
Because that Space Stone was some serious
Yeah.
business, right? And that Time Stone was some serious business. And we saw what happened.
And that's funny enough because they didn't go very, very far into the stories of the other stones. It's mostly those two.
Because there are theories to explain very specifically in a very advanced level into those things. Like we have relatively like mature string theory and those things. People have movies about it, so you can imagine how that happened if it happens. Like people have picture for it actually, and it's not something just here, just from your mind. It's not just a thought.
Okay. I feel like my answer is the safe generic story of the advertisers. That it's that it is a sphere. Right? Which I personally don't hold. I don't hold anything as absolute truths. I hold things as these are the theories and these are the evidences presented by X, Y, and Z for this.
That support these theories.
What I've seen of like specifically flat Earth and hollow Earth is there are stories. Anytime people talk about it, it's just like, hey, look at this image, look at this map, like a hand drawn map of something, and it'll be like, hey, look at this map that they have, an old map, and that's why it's flat Earth. Or somebody would say a story of there was this time that I went to this place and it was different. Or there'd be, I know somebody who went there, but there is no like calculation or no type of evidence I have ever come across of somebody trying to like prove it and be like, hey, look at this, and this is why the Earth is flat because of this thing here. And so that's why I fall back on the evidence that has been presented by our advertisers in terms of like the simple ones would be calculating like the heights of different buildings based on shadows, right? So using the sun to like and using that to calculate the curvature of the Earth, and then also the curvature of the sea when you like look at the horizon. Like those are the two that I look back look at and I'm like, yeah, that seems to be the most tangible thing that would make me believe in this direction. But if someone was to like give me evidence of the other one, I'd be like, oh, look, they have evidence. So then I'll just switch to be the one that has the most evidence, pretty much. So I'm not sure. Have you ever come across something in your searches that would have been like, I find like this is a good piece of evidence that might make me lean towards hollow or flat Earth? Even if you do like believe mostly that it's a sphere, like have you ever came across something that was compelling?
I have. And mainly because of how planes fly.
Okay.
If you ever consider how planes would fly in certain directions around the Earth. Sorry, they never fly around the Earth. So they never fly around the Earth.
This to the Alaska.
They just go like from place to place, to here, to there, to there, but they never fly around, which I found very funny because there are times where it is, I would think to myself, well, instead of going from this place to this place, which is right there, they would do a plane flight from here, go all the way down, so drop off here, then go through so, and then come up here.
So there's
like the cost is huge.
there's an entire world of airline pricing and the airline agreements, the geopolitical situations to describe and explain why they just don't hop from Trinidad all the way in a horizontal line, right? And I personally don't believe that that it's not that it can't be done. I think that because airlines belong to their headquarters are in certain countries, it is a political thing. It is literally like you don't have the right as an airline of this country because
Fly
someone
over
somewhere,
my country.
right? Because someone somewhere decided that these invisible lines, right, have to exist. And that's why you find that you may go in a zigzag, right? Which ironically makes a fare more expensive because there's a lot more mileage to cover. So there's this term that we use when we're building rates, generally speaking, that the more curved the direction geographically from point A to point B, the more natural the flow. And then there's this calculation that we do to make sure that it fits within these parameters that are set. So we say, let's say from point A to point B, we're expecting the maximum distance on that to be, I don't know, 81,000 miles. To go from here to here, maximum 81,000 miles, including a zigzag, including a couple dashes, to different continents, just because of that pricing and that structure and the limitations of being able to just go from here all the way around the world. I think it's possible. I personally think it's possible. But that's just, a little geeking out on my career a little bit.
No, with that being said, right, I think there is a lot of information that higher ups or people of that level would not want the average day or the average Joe to learn about, especially in your ability to see via plane travel or whatnot, because there isn't much that you could hide from the height, right?
Right. Well, if it's very cloudy, you can't see anything. But.
Well, yeah.
And if your altitude is pretty high too, at 33,000 feet, you can't see. You'd have to literally fly your aircraft at a lower altitude. And therefore, most commercial jets aren't designed to consistently fly at such a low altitude. I don't know the reasons why, but I imagine it's just not efficient. And it's probably not going to make sense. It's going to burn a lot more fuel. Stupid me, I don't know. I'm happy to be corrected. Anybody coming into this space. And so different aircraft, a 777 could travel at a higher altitude compared to an ATR, which is the plane that takes us to Tobago. Because again, the propellers on the side can't function at that high altitude. But a 777, a 757, a 737, those are all aircraft designed to function, in a different way. So I guess it depends.
And then the two things that you brought up, planes flying in different trajectories as opposed to straight lines, and your counter to her that higher ups may have like a secret that they want to hide. Both of those are like what I usually come across when I like rail digging. There'll be people having ideas of what they think could be happening versus like a evidence versus like because of this thing, it works out, the math works out that it should be flat or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I haven't been able to come across.
Well, here, right? The same way that we might have theories and whatnot, or might have beliefs about certain things. But like it always starts from like that seems a little fishy to me. Hence the reason why isn't there any promotion of vehicles to use water as the fuel, right? Where there were clearly many inventors, at least 5 within the last 50 years, that came up with the ability to run big machinery off of water, right? And what happened to them?
That makes sense.
But then is it profitable?
That makes logical sense. Yeah, I feel like that makes complete sense. Like they have all these companies that making billions of dollars, and then you come and you're gonna try to disrupt this $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying, right? And when I say is it profitable, of course it's profitable, but it means that the people who currently run things, right? They are not going to be able to function anymore. One, what is a renewable energy? Source, technically, right? The oceans there will always be a cloud in the sky and rainfall, and therefore boom, the water cycle, big up standard 3 science 2 times. And so it means that if we consider all of the people, the 5 or 6 people that really sit at the top, they're the ones that are pulling the puppet strings.
So is it that you're trying to say the flat earth thing might be hidden for financial reasons? And I'm trying to figure out what was the connection between the that thing.
In terms of information,
yeah,
information not being able to be taken or observed or gathered, mainly because there are people that are put in place to avoid or to stop that from happening. So people might have views, or they might have the brain enough to think that, hey, this seems a little funny to me, but you would then have to go on your investigation to then come to a conclusion of, okay, how it is I got to this point. But because
you can take out before that happens.
The information that you're going to gather is going to be detrimental to somebody else's profit, they would then
some other advertiser, basically.
Some other advertiser.
Too dangerous for us to have evidence about flat earth.
And then you cut that out, because I think the last person I was talking about a water engine, they found him
a few of them died.
Yeah, he died through what I think it was suicide. Yeah, it's usually suicide or something. Yeah, suicide or something. You know, it has happened. And what happens is the news would come out like, hey, this person was thinking about this, and they was researching this, and then after all of a sudden they died, and they would do a little story on it and dies it.
Mm-hmm. The whistleblowers.
Nothing else happens after that in terms of with the information that they had gathered or whatever it is, because you never hear anything come out of it.
My thing is, everything that we know, or everything that we don't know, everything that we question, it's all been written in a movie before. I'm sorry. It's every single time. And I sit with my dad and we always look at these sci-fi type, these thrillers, and I'm like, bro, it's right there. Are we surprised? Like, how are we still surprised?
Lucy was a big one for me.
Tell me.
Lucy was a big one for me.
Lucy was the one that where the woman become like one with the AIs.
No, she didn't become one with the AI.
Well, I can't remember.
She was the AI.
She was the AI.
In the program?
No, she wasn't a program.
Well, I can't remember how it
remember, it's like
I can't remember how
it was like,
take a mic closer while you're saying that. I need to hear this.
What they did was they took the same chemicals that would force a baby to grow in terms of within the nurturing stage or the beginner stage of developing the brain and whatnot, and they take a synthetic version of that, or they created a synthetic version of it, and what they did was inject it into these different people,
humans,
okay, test subjects, and they would react differently. Lucy was one of the
like a super soldier.
No.
That's Captain America.
Because remember they were injecting different.
Kind of increase his body,
right? But remember they were injecting different tests every time they have to test. Mm-hmm. It's this group of people, and they have to figure out who could survive this thing. Sorry, that was just what my brain did. Anyway, AI.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, it got to a point where she ingested way more than they had originally planned for her to take, and it happened by mistake, and this got sent through her DNA and all these kind of things, and she as an adult. Okay. She was an adult at this point in time, and she went through levels of awakening where it would show you throughout the movie. It would show you like, okay, how much percentage she was at this point. And listen, at certain points, she was able to show from example. And when I say from example, to show the scientists that were working, where she ended up finding the people and them who were working on the whole situation or the synthetic version of the chemicals or whatever. She ended up finding some of the doctors and them that were working on it, or the scientists, I should say, and she was able to show them, from example, the level that her brain has reached, the power that it now has, or at least show them a vision of what she's capable of doing. By, in that very white room, in the room that they were in, it was a white room, she was able to then carry them to a place in the past where they're showing you the first human woman. And she's like explaining to them whatever. And then she takes them from here and carries them back into a different situation. And it's like, they're trying to show you, like, okay, these are some of the levels that you could reach if you unlock your brain. And I'm like,
this is calculation.
so what are you trying to tell me? My brain locked? That way you're trying to tell me? My brain locked? And then when it says you read some of the chemicals and things that they have in our water, in our food and whatnot, it really and truly calcifies our brain, which then again locks your brain. So you're not able to perceive things on some of the natural levels that you would normally be able to if it is you weren't on these drugs or chemicals.
And the question begs, is that what they want? Whoever the they is, is that what they want?
That's what they want.
If your brain running in that speed and that capacity with that kind of ability to calculate, you will burn yourself, right? You don't even have that ability to take out all the heat from your body, because a super computer, even not the super one, right? The one they trying to find the Bitcoin. You know how much AC they need to put in one room just for it to do that calculation.
So if you unlock too soon.
But
yeah, like your body also
chip.
not built for that
But again,
yet.
That's because of the man-made adaptations that we put onto it. It's a mechanical thing that we are now running. It runs on electricity. It runs on all these kind of things. We are a bio machine where our bones and whatnot, if you really and truly think of it, we are literally a suit.
We're a machine.
Yeah.
We are a machine.
Where we are controlled by our consciousness or our brain. So this little mushy thing on the inside here is what controlling this whole thing that gets me up in the morning. It's like, yeah, I want to be champion. My brain is like, yo, I need to be champion. You understand? And it's like,
Stand your brain.
but let me say, for instance, if you had the ability now to control all those things, in terms of being able to have full access of it. I think we do have full access of it. I think we do have full access of our brain.
You could.
No, I think we do have full access.
Or everybody just walking around right now with full access?
We do have full access.
As in it exists.
Yes.
He said that part you don't access is not something you're available anymore. Is that what you mean?
No, in terms of, we do have full access to our brain, but just like we have full access to our body, if it is, I am not accustomed to
It's not developed.
moving my ear,
Right.
then I can't move it on command.
You could move your ear.
I can move my ear.
I can move my ears.
I can't.
I could
It's one of
use it a little bit.
It's one of the coolest things that I used to do when I was a kid. Yeah.
Understand?
So it's like it's the untapped potential basically. So you're saying that as human beings we exist with all of this power, with all
We
of
do.
this awareness and knowledge.
This is something that
but it's to develop.
that ancient scrolls and hieroglyphs have been saying for a millennia now, that we have all that is required for us to achieve greatness, not just sporting or in any particular field of science or whatever, but like within you as a human being, you have the ability to achieve great things. You are a great thing. You yourself are a specimen of a great achievement by nature. To be able to have a sentient being roam the lands and be able to interact with other non-sentient beings and be able to cultivate and explore and do all these kind of things. Imagine what this sentient being would be able to do if it is we had proper exercises or proper traditions or conditions to allow this brain or this character or this player one, you understand, to be able to develop. Because like even in the games or in shows and whatever, you have to go through a level of trial and error to gain XP to then get stronger and get better armor and get better this and
Did we
whatnot.
ever talk about the gateway experience?
The gateway?
What is gateway?
Kind of deep dive I use, bro.
Yeah. I thought of something as you were saying that. It's very interesting.
I tend to stay away from a lot of these conversations, mainly because like people don't have open minds, and like as soon as you start digging too deep or start bringing about questions that might make somebody like start to think and question some of the things that they might have wholeheartedly just believe in, things get a little dicey.
That's
whenever
right.
that happens. So I tend to just
for the folk in the room here, I feel like we'd be able to entertain it enough to understand. May not fully or appreciate it, but you said something that was very interesting, and I literally caught myself on my Christianity. And it kind of makes sense about us already being built with this thing, right? In Catholicism, there is this idea, this belief, this part of our catechism, which is like the book of our faith, that talks about we're built in his image and likeness, in God's image and likeness, right? And if we have this idea that God is perfect and he's all-knowing and he's all-powerful, and we're created in his image and likeness, then shouldn't we... It fits the profile.
and somehow people get offended by calling ourselves God when we are already made in his image and likeness. So if we're made in his image and likeness, am I not God?
It just kind of went clink. Like when you said it
Am I not
made
God?
sense.
By extension, I am an extension of him.
Well,
so am I not him?
The theories would say, and the theology would say that, because of our sins and all of that, and it's true, right? We that was the fall from grace. And so that way we could not remain perfect in his full image and
What
likeness.
if that was a lie?
Right? What if Eve never eat the apple because it was Adam,
what if
man again,
that
and
whole
blame the woman?
That whole deception there. What if?
Did you just roll your eyes at me?
What if that in itself was the lie?
Perhaps.
Because then that sets up opportunity for us to hate each other on a sex level, hate each other on a age level, because it's those people and then from the past that make us this, that make us fall like this.
Do you hit them in that level?
No, I mean it sets up the
It's an easy target. It's a very
for
easy
people to
story.
hate at all kind of different levels. So, all right, you hate men because men did this. You hate women because women did that. You hate God because God did that. You hate Satan because Satan did this. You hate Cain and Abel because they did that, and they introduced what murder into the world. Oh, sure, murder was then introduced into the world. Sure, that at that point in time, yeah, and
It
then
was 4 people.
yeah, four people, and we're gonna just kill one, and then from there we're gonna just expand onto the earth. And then they had other human beings already living there, and it's like, I thought it was just 4, and so it gets real confusing, right?
A lot of gaps.
And then it comes down to, okay, so if all of these different kind of things happening, right, and all this information is being carried around and whatnot, I have then a question to anybody that would then be listening to all this, right? Who benefits from this misinformation?
That's a real good song there. We need that. Yeah.
Who benefits from this misinformation?
But we don't know if it's misinformation. You just have a theory that's
Okay,
misinformation.
who benefits from this education?
This
Wow.
particular perspective and
You-
school of thought. What's that? This is young.
Like his theory, right? I was raised and educated different than you guys because where I was born, right? And definitely in our textbook, we are educated like religion is just a tools that whoever control the country, govern the country, try to manipulate people and whatever.
As a child, like in primary school?
We start off probably from middle school. Yeah,
Interesting.
because that is the thing, right? We believe in there's no God, nothing. We just us, we're the, but that is not my thought because, again, I'm raised like that. Doesn't means when I grow and I see more, I still believe in that. I will start adults and stuff. Yeah, but as more I read, as more I start to explore those mystery area that I did not know, I start to know, okay, so that was not just like a story that government trying to fool people, right? Because you will see certain patterns that happens. And again, I find after living here for 6 years, some people are very religious, and I was also born in a very religious area, but that is Islamic, right? But China in general, religion is not that popular for everybody, but we have all the religions. We allow those, but just not everybody is not a hot thing, popular thing in China. And I just find, everything makes sense in their own way. So I would not say, because I don't know, I'm not an expert for Christian, for any religion. If I don't know, I would rather stay quiet. And I don't believe that some people hate those things because they literally hate everything. Because their thoughts and their experience and their education level limited themselves and to understand certain things. So they don't give the understand. They don't have an open mind. So they just there and hating everything. So for me, okay, I don't have a religion. I'm not a religious person because the 22 years I was in China, I don't have any religion. I was raised like that, but as I came out of the country, I started to learn different stories, read different books, and start to have different information. That is how I actually believe certain things make sense. It's not like everybody's behavior makes sense, but the logic behind it and all this little story connected about how humans appear on this earth, right? And how all the religion, it doesn't matter which year it appears and which area it showed up, and they have the story behind how this earth generated is very similar. So it makes people start to think. Like how life start to exist. We don't really talk about evolution.
You find the creation stories amongst the religions are the same or similar?
Are similar, like how they describe Earth in the beginning stage where there's no life, nothing. Our Chinese story, Indian story, Christian story, and Islamic story, everything just happened to be similar. And even some Africa old stories is not a religion, nothing. It just shocked me how it's similar. And some people, they claim they have they have different level of alien contact. And the 7th level is they kidnap you and try to have kid with you and those things, like not like physically like how we create a life, but they're trying to see if you can merge the
DNA.
Yeah. So, and they even say, okay, I went to, or I even talked to alien in the next world or dimension. And they were like, okay, so this is how Earth started. And a funny thing is that the stories have been told from those people. Those people are from countryside, like extremely countryside with no education background. And they just made up story because some people think, okay, the lion is a dream and whatever, but they're like, I really went to another planet and this is how people move and this is how people use energy and this is how people look at things. But just based on their background, their knowledge, their education level, which is none, like didn't even finish primary school, how they're able to explain why the speed of light is fixed. And why space and light and space and time is one. That level is interesting for me because they are not like they receive high education, and how they know those things from just a contact with aliens, how all those things are bounced up together. But again, I don't have the knowledge to explain, so I just choose to respect it for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you all should definitely check out something that I keep talking about on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
I hope y'all don't get sick of me, viewers, all 200,000 of you guys. But there's something called the Gateway Experience.
What?
The Gateway Experience, which is a document released by the CIA in the 1980s. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about. I just did not get the naming in translation, but I now I realize.
I'm going to try to do a synopsis of it. Essentially, the CIA released this document in the 1980s saying that they have been doing this program to unlock the full telekinetic potential of humans. And it is based on a few things, majorly that our brains and bodies release electromagnetic waves. Those waves can impact other particles and other waves, and they can magnify and have effect outside and inside, right? By meditating, breathing, you can charge your body. And they went very specifically into this. Like, you're like, what's this point? But
No.
They said that you can charge your body, and one of the first things that you can unlock is like a bar, an energy bar, that would say how much spiritual telekinetic energy you have. The more of that energy you have, the more things you could do. The more things you could do would include things like healing, self-healing, healing other people, using those vibrations. You could, no, this is just what the CIA say. I'm not saying this is true or not. I just present what was released. If you Google right now Gateway Experience, it'll pop up and it'll come from the CIA website, right? So you could heal people, heal yourself. You could communicate with other people telepathically. You could communicate with yourself from parallel universes, apparently. So, which is very important in that there are other versions of yourself and that are higher and lower. And if you can connect with the higher versions of yourself, you can ask them for advice or download information from them.
I don't want to fight me.
Yeah, they actually said all the information is like saved in the cloud. So
Yeah.
if you are able to access that cloud, you're able to get any information you want based on your ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can also do astral projection, where you can you can do remote viewing, which is what they use it the most for. Apparently, I don't know the reason most for it. It's just what they talked about a lot with security. So the people who trained in it could go and be like, okay, you have a target here. We need to see what that person doing. And they could charge up and go and spy on people, essentially. And that was one of the uses that they spoke about a lot. I'm not saying that I necessarily believe this. It's just one in the document, right?
Well, at this point, is not really a belief. It's more or less this is something that was documented, and
we can't. Nah. So here's why we can't: because people document all sorts of things to mislead you and to give you, because they CIA just do all kind of ups things. So who knows what? All we know is that there's a document that they released and that they put out there, which could be to send people away from their
information,
abilities, away from the truth or towards the truth. All we know is that they have this thing that I think you should read, right? So now there's also like the gateway tapes. So like there are these tapes that you have to listen to with headphones, and there's a guided meditation to like help you unlock your telekinetic powers. So it's on YouTube, SoundCloud, there's a few different things, and like it plays these different tunes of music that's supposed to like help synchronize your left and right sided
but
brain.
we come back to music.
Because the frequency you're able to reach to that level, I think is 7, but normally we here is from 20 to a certain level.
Yeah.
But that frequency, the best frequency for you to reach is 7. If I don't remember wrong, the 7 below it.
Yeah. So now my belief now is that, I don't know. My belief this is tricky,
I don't
is
know.
that
Don't know. God, boy.
almost all things are true, in that the human brain is very powerful, and depending on how strong your belief is, Your belief emits certain waves, and that belief impacts things around you. If you're a strong Muslim and you believe in this faith and you believe and you're praying, you could impact things. If you are a yogi and you believe in this breathing and these frequency exercises and whatever, you could impact your health and other things. But a huge part of it just if you're a Christian and you believe in prayer and praying to Jesus Christ and that system, if you believe in it enough, you could make it happen. If you have no religion and you just have belief, like you just believe in yourself and what you could do and whatever could happen, I think it could work. What does do work so good is if you don't really believe so much and you're kind of going through the motions, then I think that your power is like ends up being limited. And so all of them are kind of connected based on the amount of input and focus that you have on like the end goal and how you're going to do it and how much you could visualize it and how much you believe is actually going to happen. Yeah, I was going to ask for.
Well, judging from what you were saying there, the key ingredient there seems to be belief.
Yeah. If you're the extreme martial artist.
Or should I say, not so much the belief, but the emotion or the focus that goes with it.
Yeah, because when you're in extremely focused mood, your body will change frequency. That is how demon slayers do. Water breathing. Understand now?
Anime comes full circle.
Yeah. It makes sense. That is the thing.
Watch
That
it.
is the thing. That is the thing.
Yeah.
I find it similar.
One Piece is real. Go find it.
All right, so we're going to end off now with a quick game. We're going to end off with a quick game after that deep dive we just did in philosophy.
Nah, that was some good stuff. And like, we ain't scratchy surface, but you gotta get mad to be here.
So the way this game is going to work is we're going to ask each of you all 10 questions about the next person.
I'm probably gonna get like 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
I, who should not know more than either of you, I'm going to see if I could beat.
You can just ask him what is my birthday. He would not remember. What?
Sure, you know what they have birthday? Did you see the Joe Biden Trump interview this week?
Oh God, the debate.
It was so rough. You watched it?
I think Trump was mainly saying like, this guy does not even
Yes,
understand what it is you're asking him, and you're asking him and he's explaining something
That
else
was rough
completely
to see, boy,
different.
because I'm a Joe Biden fan.
So like,
Nah, Joe.
why is he here? Why is
got
he allowed
groups.
to run the country? And
Yeah.
Trump was, he said everything that
He
was
went
supposed,
easy. Yeah, he
was
didn't even-
supposed to be said. And
push.
again, I think a lot of people don't give Trump his flowers.
Nah, we ain't doing this right now. Nah.
Literally, he pointed out all the faults within the system that they all benefit from, right? He pointed
Okay.
it out.
Fair.
And
Yes.
then he said, okay, if all they have a big problem with me and all the things that I have achieved and all the things that I've accomplished and gained, then change the rules. But you won't. You know why?
'Cause
All,
you're gonna-
all the people that benefit from you, from it, just like all the people that would finance all the campaigns that you're on, also benefit from it. So you all wouldn't do that to yourselves. So let's not talk here like if
All right, we'll go deep into Donald Trump, Joe Biden debate
Another
in the
time,
next
please.
episode.
My blood pressure can't take that.
So we're gonna let Kemba direct these questions now. I haven't seen these questions.
Two sides of the same blasted coin. Anyway, yes. Welcome to it. The relationship game. So, as Edson was explaining, the goal is just for us to have fun, right? You're being a wonderful couple, in love and tatted up and all these different things. Right? The idea is that these questions should be easy game. We have Edson who's going to intuitively try to guess or figure out, what does he know? What might he guess? What might he know? And of course, it have points involved. So if this is your first time in rodeo, he's not very competitive. I know that you know that he's not very competitive.
He's very competitive.
When does he? Is he right? He will say otherwise. And so for each round that is won,
Look at his eyes.
I'm locking in. I'm getting
was
my
clear.
vibrations.
For
I'm getting
each-
my vibrations to
The
frequency.
belief
of 7.
system is
it
being
is
set.
gateway, right? The meditation.
I don't believe it's not competitive. I heard stories.
Thank you very much. I mean, in his world, his belief and his truth is that he's not competitive.
Right,
and
right.
so
What's
all
the
I will
word
say
again?
is for every round that is won by whomever, that person gets 1 point. Okay. So points on the table, just know that. And I'm going to ask the questions in groups of 5. So for example, it will be targeted to Susiang, and then Edson will naturally try to answer as well. So I'll say, Susiang, what is, that's not correct. Sue Siang. Thank you. Sue Siang. What is blah? And it's targeted to Joshua. You have to write it on your board, and Edson is also going to write it on your board. And then you're going to flip it around and you're going to show us, right? And then the other 5 questions will be, okay, Joshua, what is Susiang's this or whatever, right? Edson, of course, is going to try to win.
So when you ask the question, he has to write down the correct answer.
Yes, it's all written.
So so don't let her see. Don't let her see, or
Don't
you
let
can
Edson
me
see.
You can let me see if you want.
Yeah, don't let Edson see. Got it? Oh, y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
Oh, the first 5 coming to who?
I was now gonna confirm. It's going to go to Susiang.
So
Okay.
she has to answer the question.
Yes,
Okay.
writing it on.
And I have to
Guess.
just
Who's guessing? Who's guessing the answer?
You have to.
You have to
I
write
have to
down
guess?
the correct
I have
answer.
to guess.
You have
You
to
have
write
to
the
guess?
correct answer.
Right.
I have to write the correct answer.
Yes.
She's writing the truth.
And she's writing the truth.
Yeah.
I'm writing my guess. You write the correct answer.
Right,
You're writing
and-
the truth. The question is
Because
towards
these
you,
are
I
you.
will be answering.
Oh, so these are about you. So
Right.
these are about
so
you.
I write down the correct answer here.
Everybody's
They
lis-
guess.
correct
Right,
is
right,
right.
Word,
Correct,
okay.
right? And so we'll see how this goes. And if in the end Edson answers more questions than correctly, then you're gonna have to marry him instead.
The way it goes.
Susiang,
2024.
Yeah.
what is Joshua's favorite movie? Write it out. You have to write it out.
I don't think you watch movies. You watch movies?
Don't change it, Write down what it's supposed to be. Write down what it's supposed to be.
Let's give why you turn this already? We have to give Susiang time.
Well, the viewers can.
Susiang.
Would it be wild if I really have it written down? That'd be wild, huh?
Oh God.
I don't know.
I think it told me about it. I have no memory of it.
Don't do it, Edson. Hold it. 7.
It's got to be big enough, my days, for us to see as well, okay? When you write it. Okay.
Let's go.
Can I just be honest?
Let's
Always.
go. Yeah. Come on.
Does not watch TV. Which is true.
Go.
I can't remember.
You know what? That is very fair.
I get a half point automatically.
No.
This is a half point. When your opponent give up, you get a half
You
point.
have to announce the rules before we start the thing. You can't halfway and announce.
My dear.
Don't turn yours
These
around. Turn yours around.
rules are going to change.
Turn
No,
yours.
Every minute.
Turn yours. My pen up here. My pen up here.
I want to see where it fits.
Let's see. No, you show me. You show me.
Come on.
Thank you very much.
Damn.
That's in your wrong.
I could tell I was wrong by your happiness. You look so relieved
Yes.
that I was wrong.
Yes, because where you going with your half point?
I
But that was
know
a
I would
good-
have throw off
That was a
somebody.
good one. That was a good
I
one.
know I would have throw
What
off
was it?
somebody.
So, Josh's favorite movie
Yes.
is The Matrix.
Yes.
Oh,
Good.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very similar to
Some
Lucy.
very-
Ah.
How you come to
You
that?
just want these.
0.25.
Oh my word.
I'll just put it up here for consideration later. All right. Okay.
The worst. Oh, when you're erasing, I'm so sorry. When you're erasing,
Use
we're gonna
use one of those.
yes. Just gonna let it out.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
So just write it big so people at home could see. Just write a big one.
Yeah, but I don't want all it to see. I don't want all it to see.
Okay.
That is not my goal.
We just want them to see.
Thank you.
Disrupt. Okay, everybody has one, right?
Flow.
Okay, perfecto. The next question. All right, again, this is for you, Tatiang. What was Joshua's first job?
First job?
Yeah.
First job.
Edson, what have you written, my dear?
Nothing. I'm trying to read into his soul.
Right, naturally. You're doing that thing, massaging the brain thing. It's the
You can read my brain.
it's the
I've already gotten accustomed to your tricks.
Damn it.
Wait.
You trying to read off of her and she don't know the answer?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, for me, this is the one. Like, this is because I don't know what is the definition. I find this is when he was in school, he was doing these things to make some allowance money on the side.
Right.
So I find that's the first job.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Is she more right than you?
I see the definition. What would
Yeah.
you say, Joshua?
That was how our boy was hustling.
Right.
Is that
There's a difference between a hustle
And a job.
job.
Okay, let me
what?
read
That's fine.
the job. Just
No.
Too late, my dear.
Too late,
Joshua,
too
would you?
late will be the cry.
Edson has an interesting one. Wow.
I was going to write construction.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
No.
Wait, say.
The-
Pizza Hut.
Because the reason why I draw a line here is I was going to write construction. I was
Never
not
worked
sure.
at
Pizza.
Pizza Hut.
He worked everywhere.
I've worked at Subway. I've worked at McDonald's. I've never worked at
Construction worker.
yeah. The boy started off
I
in
remember
construction.
you were telling me those things, and that is how you learn to do your electrician and stuff. But for me, I'm not sure if you count that as
Yeah.
a job.
Hence why I said that I'm a man of many talents.
I don't like this tally I have here.
Oh.
0 and 0.
I have a 0.25.
God, you might start a short circuit just now.
I enjoy my little time right now.
All right, Tatiang, are you ready? What is Joshua's
Becoming
biggest
Latino there, boy.
fare?
What?
What is your biggest fare?
Damn.
What we'll do when we editing, we'll get some music in the background because it's maths.
It's a deep dark question here, boy.
Paper tree.
Bro, it's only 3 words. It's only 3 words, bro.
It's about 4. So people usually count the in-betweens, you know? he could play a good game
Of cheating, yes.
of all fours and thing.
Cheating?
Do you know I don't know how to play all fours?
Same.
I've never once
Same.
played. I've never once played or
Listen, we're gonna have a games night sometime soon,
I have to learn before the games time. Before
and I will teach you.
I need to learn
how to play
separate.
all
I need to
codes.
learn separate. I don't want you
Right? Because it is
You too. It's killing me.
it is one of those things that you need to learn. You need to learn as a Trinidadian.
You ready?
Your
Let's go, let's
heritage.
Okay. All right, let's see it. Biggest fair.
Turn it. Everybody turn it.
Okay.
I wanna see what they think my biggest fair is.
Okay. No. I'm it's me. I rub in your train here. Wow.
They got it. Oh no, she got it.
No, this is very interesting. So the correct answer, Joshua's truth is losing control of his rage. Then Tsuetsiang said being betrayed by the person he trusted and loved. That's a deep fair though. That's legit. And then Edson's own is also very legit, becoming a bad father.
Who closer?
Nobody.
Nobody can cross it. Only fishermen and fisherwomen. All right. Okay. 2 more to go for Tsuetsiang, and then
3 O's.
we shall see.
They never had a show called 007, you know.
That's
Let me
is
see
your,
if you can laugh like 5 minutes from now.
that is
You can
your
still laugh like
dad
that.
I will
joke.
still be laughing.
That is your dad joke. Okay. Are you ready? Who is Joshua's best friend?
Damn it.
Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Funny enough,
Well. Okay.
So we just jump straight into the.
Now, Tsuetsiang has to answer, and Joshua. Yeah, they're targeted.
You are?
where your headphones?
They're targeted to Tsuetsiang, and she has to write the correct
we have
answer.
to have to do the 2 more. We have to do the 2 more questions.
Yeah.
I got cut off from Joshua.
So now you had to create 2 different questions.
Oh, for Joshua. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
So then it's not going to be 20 in all in the end. It'll be like
Just 5 and 5.
8. Yeah, okay. Just those are
So we have 3 so far,
right.
and now we'll do 2 more for him,
And then 2 more for Tsuetsiang.
No,
and that's it.
5.
and then
5.
5.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Forgive
you're getting
me.
sleepy,
We're
that's
almost
why.
done. We're almost done.
It's louder. Okay.
After this, we done, guys. So
Okay, that's fine.
Everybody time.
Okay. 2 more. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Are you ready?
Quite.
What is Que Paso?
For the record, viewers.
What?
Oh, I'll keep it a
Edson
secret.
lost.
It'll just be between me and the
Edson
crowd.
lost.
Everybody knows what happened here.
Edson lost.
All right, and then
what
we'll
happened here,
let
yeah.
it go. Don't worry about it, guys.
He lost.
Don't worry about
He's
it.
saying that he won that round.
He's having a hard time.
Right? And she's like, huh.
Somebody pull the cord.
She's like, huh.
All right, let's go. 2 more questions.
Okay. What is Joshua's favorite animal?
What Joshua favorite animal?
Keep it PG, guys.
The sad thing is, we talk about all this topic. I don't remember anything. Okay.
Damn it.
None of they will figure that out. I know. You know why I know? Because I've never told anybody.
Well,
What? Well, then this is the answer based on what I
Have observed?
know. How it. Oh no. I would see this is because this is what he wanted. I can say this is what he wanted. What they wanted for us.
so the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, it's falcon.
Like a falcon.
What?
No.
Yo, I mean, I heard about it.
Who
One's in the
who
air.
is Falcon?
One is in the air and one is on the ground.
And,
That is absolutely incorrect.
Falcons.
I'm so sorry. And then
Why do you like falcon?
Tsuetsiang,
I like
it's
falcon.
not a turtle nor fish.
But he's asking for turtle or a fish since last year Christmas. Why are you not asking for that?
Because where you getting the falcon?
Where am I getting a falcon?
And where you putting the falcon?
Not all the wishes will come true. You have to ask.
You know, she's right. She's right.
You have to strengthen your vibrations.
All the
Just
wishes
ask.
won't come true.
Because
but
if
have
you
to
don't
ask.
see it, it will never come true.
Exactly.
See it.
Maybe you all will get relocated to Dubai.
Yeah, because if you
Where
see
you
one
can have a
turtle
falcon.
and fish, you get in turtle and fish. You're not getting that some corn.
Fun.
Yeah, falcon wolves are very hard to find. Very difficult.
You even made me lost my paper. Give me a pencil.
All right, next one. This is it here.
The tiebreaker.
We on quadruple zero each.
Okay, Tsutsiang, what is the most memorable gift that Joshua has given you?
What is the memorable gift he ever gave me?
Wait, but the correct answer would be
Yeah,
that's tricky.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. You're right. I'll do one more.
but there.
No, she saved you there.
I don't even have it. I don't have it.
Because if you don't
Right
get the
now,
answer.
I don't have it. Okay. What is Joshua's favorite food?
Oh yes.
Think about it.
Right.
Okay. It's the way I'm hearing the squeak of your erasing that is killing me right now.
Stop trying to tell the difference from his handwriting. You're doing analysis like what exactly is writing.
One thing.
Wait.
This one item.
Oh my god, it's torturing this process because you're writing so slow.
It's the concentration for me.
Damn it.
Oh my god. 2,000 years later. I have to play that.
Ready?
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh my god, Joshua! Kids, watch this too!
You are what you eat.
I'm about to get it.
I think I get it right.
No.
What?
Well, it was a throwaway. I wasn't going to get I wasn't going to get that stuff.
Wait.
I win. I definitely win. I asked him this
Does
question.
not have our favorite food.
I asked him this question. I remember how he answered. I even remember where I asked him. This is his answer. If you're wrong, you're lying.
Well,
But that's why I say whatever tastes good.
Yeah, so I win.
I would like to say that that first one there, where you put that, yeah.
It's wrong.
Now big up.
Are we both on zero?
Everybody's on zero. This.
Everybody.
I'm.
Everybody. 'Cause
I
you
said
you
it doesn't-
did not say what I
What you
see.
needed to put Susiang was me.
I said, time for you to play me and not playing it.
Right? You needed to put me.
Where me?
Because I thought this is not a PG-13.
Keep in mind. Is it? We've been cussing. I hope TikTok doesn't
I
take
feel
us.
like you needed to put me
Yeah.
on that one.
That was a
Sorry.
moment.
Do we need a sixth question?
No. We
No.
don't need a sixth question.
Nonetheless, I'd like
Y'all
to thank,
don't know me.
I'd like to thank
Y'all
our
don't love
sponsor, Synapse Medical Services.
Nobody knows me the way that you do so.
You
Sorry.
always bring silence when it's time to talk about the sponsors.
But we'd like know that this is very important. It's not a favorite food, but it is our favorite people helping to make the Edson Breedy experience come to life.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. So Synapse Medical Services offers
Big up Synapse Medical Services.
they offer high quality neurological, medical services. They're available all over the country, south, west, east. So if you know anybody who'd be suffering from something that involves the brain, the spine, the nerves, headaches, pain that might be coming from the back, you could Google or look for the link in our bio for Synapse Medical Services Limited. Without them, we won't be able to bring you these awesome, funny conversations with my friends and family. So thanks so much, guys, for believing in the dream. We really appreciate you.
Very good.
I think we should have a sixth question.
I think we should move on to the
Synapse would
next
agree.
Let's move on.
category. Of,
I think
Let's do- we
it's
could do-
not our problem, you know. He's probably just
all right. I have got questions. So we're going to switch the roles. Tables will turn. So the only person that remains the same is Edson. He's still going to try to guess. Swetiang, this is going to be where you write.
Sure.
Xue,
Shui,
Xiang,
Shui
no,
Zhang.
there's no zh.
Shui Zhang.
No,
Sure.
Ashley.
Thank
We're
you.
not
There it
doing
is.
that.
There it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh, there it is. All right.
Shui Zhang.
So you're going to write the correct answer, right? What that you know to be true. And then Joshua's going to have to write what he thinks. And then Edson is going to be guessing. I don't know how this is going to go. If Edson does guess the correct ones, you may have to marry him instead. Exactly.
Well, we already know what really happened the first time.
Let us get ready. All right.
Let me borrow your tissue now.
Oh, I have more. Hold on.
Thanks.
See what I did there? I didn't even have to look at him because I'm locked in. Locked in, yeah. I'm locked in. Look at me. Game face.
Bro.
Day zero. We on the field. You understand me? We're locked in, yeah.
Tiang, are you ready? All right. Tiang, what is your favorite time of the year?
Favorite time of the year? I'm even thinking that he's right.
Okay, next time you had a waiter.
Nah. Bad man, do it.
Wow.
Bad man, take a step and him step in.
Wow. Okay. So you just want Edson to cheat. Because that's all he will do. And then he will say that he wrote it. Let me see it.
Cheat.
Let me see it.
Him can't cheat.
Okay.
See? Him can't.
He could cheat. He could cheat.
Who can play all fours?
Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yes, it does.
But the image looks fine. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. That was crazy.
Keeping it tight, guys.
Okay.
Watch me, I'm this close to saying it. This close.
Please don't.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my god, it's right there.
I know what you're thinking, but it's fine.
Ugh.
Okay, y'all. So we left off with a couple of questions. We're going to get right back into it. So, of course, Swetiang, you were in the hot seat and you have to write your facts. And then Joshua and Edson.
She got that right.
Yes. What is Swetiang's favorite ice cream flavor?
Damn it.
Why you give him all the easiest questions? It's not fair.
Oh yeah.
I am so sorry. I'm going to toss this one to Edson and his feel for AI.
I feel sorry for Edson because this one I think Joshua have it.
Oh,
Because this is like
yeah.
not necessarily. You're probably gonna get it wrong.
I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn.
He's saying she doesn't eat ice cream.
You cheated.
Oh my God.
You cheating.
It's like the best of both worlds is vanilla, chocolate.
Listen, when you tell a lie, tell it more believable. It's not-
Oh wait, is the rice?
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh no. Oh.
After he was just watching me like,
Thief and liar.
I wouldn't take that one. That was
could you tell me the answer, please?
That was
He
great.
write it with a look like I give up, but I'm writing it.
That was great. Okay. Another one.
Wait, my board not clear.
Sorry, you written.
Right, you can say it now while Edson don't have the chance. Go. Say it.
What is Chatiang's most prized possession?
What is price the possession?
Like the most valuable thing to you, but it's an item,
It's item,
like a thing,
Not
an
a living
object.
thing.
not a living thing.
I mean, I feel like it could be, but
Possession. Possession's item.
Priced item?
yeah, like the most valuable item that you have.
Okay.
If you were to lose it, you would be devastated. You'd be really sad. Can't afford to lose this item. It's too precious.
Trying to use my technique there, Joshua.
Yeah, because I don't want to know. Because she. So honestly,
Yeah.
let me create a little dialogue on it. So the reason why I think she does not have anything like that is because she isn't somebody that concentrates on anything materialistic like
Right.
that. So back then it might have been maybe a perfume or makeup or handbag or gold earrings or whatever. But
Does this make this question null and void?
yes, it does. Because
Yeah.
it's the same thing as what's your favorite day? What's your favorite time of the year? And
Okay.
she's like all the time.
Okay, but she answered it though, and so did you. So
Do you have an
find
answer written
something
down
to
there?
Well,
Find something to write and she does not have a
to write. Right. Write it.
Damn it.
nothing. I stick in on it. Nada. She does not have a prized possession, a valuable possession, because she has everything that she needs on the inside.
I have to agree on that.
All right.
Okay.
So no actual prized possession of materialistic value.
It's on
Just because
No, because you were talking about like things, and I was thinking, okay, probably this tattoo that we got together, and you're talking about lose it, but it's just
But it's right down there. We're right down there.
nothing.
Wow, I would have gotten a point if I'd left my board blank.
Yeah.
Edson said that her insides. What is
Inside.
the inside? Listen,
I mean, that is very true.
I
very true.
cannot.
Next question.
I
next
cannot.
question. We have how many questions left?
I feel like I have just one more.
No, it's two.
Two more? Okay.
Okay.
What is Tatiang's dream vacation destination?
She does not have one.
We have to answer it.
Yes.
She has been saying she wants to go
Okay, but you have to write it down.
to Cuba
But you have to write it down.
and ride in.
Okay, but you're not writing it down.
No,
You can't just be.
What are you
can't
doing?
just
No,
be
I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking out
I
loud.
need you to
You,
think.
you
Right.
have to follow the rules. You can't think anything.
What is the
now,
rules?
Because now he knows,
What-
right?
I need you to think quietly.
What is the rules?
Inside voice.
What is the rules? Cuba.
The rules
be.
are that you have to
I can really
write.
actually be.
Chin him up.
Yeah.
Hey, hi, hello, hi, hola, buenos dias, hello. You have to write it down. Though, that's your rules. No. Think.
Favorite
think
place to go on vacation?
Favorite. Her dream vacation destination.
Dream vacation destination.
Yes.
As of right now,
As of. Woman.
I definitely know where she wants to go. Definitely right now.
Okay.
I know where she wants.
So
to go.
write it down.
Come here. Okay.
Leave it. There's your answer. Let's leave it. Let's see. Okay, we'll keep that.
Oh gosh, Kimba smiling. I mean, wrong.
I'm smiling because I'm wanting to smile because I'm happy. Interesting.
I say this. Why? Why it is I give this answer? Because she has been really wanting to go back home and be with her family and really spend some time back home. So hence why my dream or should I say her destination right now that she would be so inclined to go to would be home.
Right. Okay. What do you say, Tatiana?
I like his confidence.
Constant.
And all the bunch of valid reasons.
Yeah.
But all those are based on the conversation we had. But every time he asks me where I want to go or what I say,
Cuba.
No.
Cuba.
I say I just want to stay in bed.
Yeah.
Home.
Good try. Edson is rubbing off on you. Good try.
It's okay.
It's,
okay.
But there's no way
It's
to
all
find
right.
better
It's
now.
all right. I told you I was setting you up.
Yes.
You see how I did that? You see how I did that?
But my
Bed.
How did I know?
but yeah, the foreign country that I would like to go is Cuba.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
That was too much. That was
The what? The foreign country you'd like to go to?
Yeah,
No.
it's Cuba. But for
Don't worry,
vacation,
you already said bed.
It was a double answer.
Just flip it. Just flip the board. Just flip the
All right,
board.
next question before the phone dead.
I can't. I really can't sit here.
Before the ceasing of the phone.
Okay, so for the last question.
okay, before that,
Okay.
think quietly, okay? Thank you.
Oh,
You just don't like that I getting it all right. You just don't like it. I realize.
How
I
many
what you mean? I 4 right now, eh? Just saying. Right.
Was he right point?
Joshua has actually been doing
Just
that
saying.
out of
Was he
out of
points
everything.
like he has gotten it right? You got anywhere?
He did, yeah.
Which one did you get right?
You know how he win?
All.
How I look like he win? Because he's been talking all the time. So it look like he winning.
Okay, last one. What is Sweat Chiang's dream job?
I know.
Okay, write it.
You know?
Write it
You
down.
know my dream job?
Okay, write it. Write it. Put it on. There you go. Uh-huh. Joshua with full concentration, ladies and gentlemen. Tatiang is making sure that she puts something there. Edson is having a hard time. Okay.
I need my phone to spell this word.
Okay.
My dream job.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. That's probably some word he not able to spell.
Don't change it based on what he's saying. You're communicating all if smart.
No.
Communicating secretly based on previous conversation.
Well, isn't that how?
Okay, I don't know how to describe that.
Okay. He'll show me and I'll help you.
Sorry. It fell right here.
Yes, not lost. Okay. Chacha, are you ready? Oh, okay. Okay. So we have, I think that there's a little more alignment here. So Edson has said that your dream job is to be a spy or a secret agent.
But I already
He's already a spy of Nigeria.
Yeah, she might CIA, FBI or something, or MI6 or something.
It has to be that, right? But then she described that she wants to design engines for rockets or satellites.
Oh crap!
And what did you put, Joshua? That she wants to be an astrophysicist. So there's closeness in that. There's closeness in that. I don't know that it's exactly the same, but you know what?
My name is Joshua James, and I've just won this thing. I just want to point out to all the people that believed in me. I want to say thank you for really holding it down and really showing your faith in me, knowing that I would have come out on top as a champion. I am your champion. Okay, I represent you, and today this victory is for all of us that have strived to become the best.
We are
Okay,
recording.
the best, and we are the best because why?
Why?
We the boys.
Okay, but wait. We are the champions, my friend. Down, now.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight to episode 8 of the Edson Breedy Experience. It is now 3 o'clock in the morning,
Champions.
and these lovely guests have stayed out with us late into the night to have
All
this.
are the losers. But we are the champions
Of the world.
of the world.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bring it in.
Now you understand why his fear is to lose control.
Now I understand why you asked for us to turn down his mic in your ears. In your hands.
Oh, roast me, It's all
right,
losers.
yeah.
Roast me
But
now.
guys, be sure to like
5
and
for 5,
subscribe
baby. 5 for
to
5.
the Edson Breedy Experience
the
on
show
YouTube.
and beat my score. Okay. Impossible, but okay.
Yep, don't forget, guys.
We'll see you all next week.
We want to just wrap things up real quick. Again, big shouts to Synapse Medical Services and, of course, to our beautiful guest, Joshua James, and his lovely fiancée, Chua Chiang. Thanks, of course, for having us with you for another week, and we will be back coming to you.
Guys, if you want to support Joshua James, you all can go to his new Instagram shop, right?
Top shelf.
Sport accessories.
Right, where you can find really cool MMA, grappling, and martial arts equipment
Yes.
and gears, right? So check them out on Instagram, give them a like and a follow, order something, try it out, give them some feedback.
Yes, sir.
That would be awesome.
Something as well that also comes
Every month.
Every month, so y'all could look forward to that, and that would be opportunities for you guys to really and truly get some free stuff. All right, everybody love free stuff. Welcome to Trinidad, and yeah, we have those things. So if it is you really want to join on board and get some free stuff, also if it is you want to get some cool stuff to buy, we got you.
Top shelf.
Yeah.
Top shelf.
Accessories.
Yeah.
Top shelf accessories.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.